potentially changing, but because it's going to take a long time for that, what you can do is make sure that you pay attention. Don't drink and drive. Don't get on drugs and drive. Leave your mobile phone in your glove box. Stick to the speed limits. Wear your seatbelts. Because then if something happens from somebody else's stupid decision, you've got a better chance of, like I said, avoiding a collision.
Well, you can control what you can do. You can't control what other people do.
That's correct.
It's pretty simple. It's been a few years now, mate. Obviously, the accident was up the road from where I live, and it was, obviously a rather big one with Luke. And what you and the family are doing, you said you wouldn't be talking about it, but to actually be brave enough to do that. Obviously going through your own personal health, to actually front up. You say put on a brave face, but you're fronting up, spreading an absolute important message, and what you're saying is right. So how do we get these people to really take notice of what goes on?
It's pretty hard because like one person who has helped us early days with our presentations and stuff said, if we could clone 100 norms in the lands, that would go a long way to be able to make a major impact. Because what you find now is that people that do a lot of the things that we do, they are doing the best that they can, but not all of them are coming from personal experience. And we hear a lot of the time that it's research and data tells us this and tells us that. But the research and data is only as good as the person that provides that research and data. And we know most of the time the research and data is paid by someone to do it. So it just depends on what outcome the person wants to get is what the research and data comes. We were in a conversation once where somebody from Victoria Police wanted to actually stop a major presentation that we were doing to the kids at the arena, and their main focus was because we were getting funding. So we never got a cent. So that to me said that their motivation for what they do was to actually make an income from it. That was their purpose. So we need to have more realistic stuff.
Now you're saying we're up 29% now from last year. I mean, obviously we've had a couple of, we won't say decent years, but better years because with COVID people were restricted from travel. Do we have stats on, say, to put you on the spot, do we have stats on, what are genuine accidents and what are caused by drink driving, drug driving, hoon driving, speeding? Do we know? Is there a breakdown of those sort of things?
Yeah, there is, and you can find all that information on General TAC website. So we did the presentation last week at Drysdale Football Club, and Leanne actually researched and upgraded some of the stats. And what she found last week was that it has what days are the highest death rates on and the times of day. So the highest day so far this year throughout the week is a Thursday. So most fatalities have happened on a Thursday this year. And the time frames are between 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and 6 to 8. And then there's some that have been in the morning. And that wasn't saying that was on the Thursday, but they're the times of days when the majority of the fatalities have happened, throughout the 24-hour clock.
The Thursday surprised me. I mean, most people probably think the weekends of Friday, Saturdays be the one. The time's not so much because that's generally peak hour when there's more people on the road, which then leads the other side, mate. That's where you've got to be at your highest concentration, doesn't it? You really got to. There's a million cars on the road. One error, as you said, phone, not looking, doing something you shouldn't be doing, only increases the chance.
Oh, absolutely, and like all of us in the box here grew up in a non-mobile phone era, whereas now it's like a second, it's another part of their body.
It's an appendage.
And so, it's like if they don't have their phone for some reason, they feel like they're not going to survive. So, yes, the phones are great because of, we have instant access to certain things, but they're an unnecessary evil at the same time. But, I think, there's been a lot of, technology advances over the years and things like that. And, technology's great, but, we look at what we're actually teaching our kids that we don't need to read a map anymore. I guarantee you, if you took a phone off someone and put them somewhere, not in the middle of the bush, but put them somewhere, a lot of them wouldn't have a chance to know how to get back home because they couldn't get on the Google Maps, you know. And then the same as with technology in cars, you know, there's been massive improvements to those in the 13 years that Leanne and I and Jai have unfortunately been in this space. But what have the improvements done? You know, our road toll is the height, like, yeah, it's up 29% from last year, but it's the highest it's been in 20 years for this time.
And it is, you're right. Look, the cars have improved and safety's improved out of sight, because but you can't fix stupidity, can you?
No, and you know, just because the technology's there, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be improving the techniques in teaching people how to drive or improving the actual license testing scheme. You know, I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed in the last 13 years. You know, there's been no difference in the criteria that you need to pass to get your license.
Are you an advocate for advanced driver training?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I know a lot of people aren't, because their mindset is that we're actually going to teach them to drive harder and faster, and the crash is going to be bigger. But I look at Luke's instance. Luke knew how to ride a 250 motorbike at the age of 10. So he could ride a 250. So he actually stood power and things like that. So when he lost control, when he swerved toward the hill collision, he went into, as the police said, he went into a yield, the point of no return. So he was now facing backwards. And because he understood how power and that worked, he was able to accelerate and turn his car around. If he wasn't able to do that, not one of those people, all four of them would have died, because they would have gone backwards into the power pole and broke their necks. So that's just a small example of him actually understanding how to use the power of the vehicle and stuff like that to correct things. You know, and of course, once he corrected it, then he was still travelling in that motion, and instead of heading backwards into the pole, his rear quarter panel hit the pole of the passenger side, and that's when his front wheel hit the drain of the crossover and then flipped away from it. You know, so, but at the same time, it wasn't because he knew how to do that. It was the reason why he was speeding. You know, the reason why he was speeding was because he just made a stupid decision. You know, and it wasn't like he's thinking that he was his ability was, you know, his ambition wasn't higher than his ability type thing. It was him showing off with four mates in the car. Plain and simple.
Yeah, well, I've always been an advocate for it. I think that advanced driving is something that anyone should get. I mean, we've got the systems there. You've got red P's, green P's. Then you get your license. You know, back in my day, you had to learn it for 6 months, and you went on your P's for about 2 weeks, and
yep.
You know, no seat belts, and you know, kids were just left anywhere in the back of the car.
And we also had a minimum of 3 lessons that we had to do with
the
driving instructor.
Yep.
Instructor, and that was it. And then we had one before the test. Yep. You know, so the 120 hours has improved in some ways, but at the same time, who's doing majority of the training?
Well, that's the thing. I know. I've got 4 kids, and
yeah.
You know, going through doing those hours. I mean, you do, even when they've done 30 or 40 hours, you switch off.
Yeah.
Because you think they're competent.
But we're only teaching them what we know.
Yeah, we are.
And you know, and we only know what we know from our experience, but we don't know what's wrong. So each year, my opinion, each year the driving standard is getting less because of majority of the 120 hours is done by people that don't know how to teach and what to teach. You know, so we're only passing on the knowledge that we have from what we know.
And they could be actually bad habits we're passing on.
Absolutely.
Which, you know, you said we're not qualified trainers, and
no.
I think you're looking, you've got at least 6. I think 6 with an instructor. And it's got to be the last month before you get your license to get, at least you get a chance to get those habits out.
Yeah, but you know, but at the same time, as parents, we don't realise that at a young age, we teach our kids how to drive a car a long time before we have to give them a piece of learn. Because when we pick up the phone and read the message or do whatever on the phone, we're just told them it's okay to use your phone when you're driving. You know, if we go, you know, we come to the football and we might have, you know, a beer because we can have a deal and drive our car. Your 10-year-old doesn't know if 1 beer or 5 beers is over 0.05, but you just inadvertently told them it's okay to drink and drive. So, and we don't understand these things unless you get in the unfortunate position of what we've become, because that's what we've learned. Yeah, and they're the types of things that I think that there should be. If we're going to rely on parents to do the majority of the 120 hours, how about let's set up a course for them to do first, so they get an understanding of what needs to be taught and why.
Look, that might eradicate half of it, right? But my question is not a particularly nice question here, but I've done traffic on the roads for 9 years, and I've seen accidents where these blokes could probably drive really, really well. It's not how they were trained. It's not advanced. They were good drivers, but they were just dickheads. Yeah. So how do we get those dickheads off the road? Is there a legal thing we can change? Like, instead of fining them, take the licence straight off them, because some of these blokes, it's got nothing to do with training. They've just made unbelievably stupid. All right, they might have had a few beers. They might be on their phone. Well, that's got nothing to do with the way they're good drivers, and they can still kill people.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I even think, I've been told we can't enforce our way out of it, but the enforcements that we have now, like, how many times do you hear in the news such and such has been up for drink driving 7 times?
That's right.
And now they're threatening to throw in jail. Yeah. Or such and such has been caught unlicensed so many times. The only thing that you hear is they get a fine that they probably won't pay. And they get extension on their loss of license, which they don't really care about, because if they cared about it, they wouldn't drive in the first place. So they're just going to keep on driving.
Well, for these people, should there be a law that says never to drive again, ever? But if they're unlicensed, they bloody well are anyway.
Yeah, well, that's right. But go back to our time. What happened if you got caught driving unlicensed?
Not much.
You spent a week.
Back in the old.
You spent a week in the local lockup.
Well, why can't we do that now for 6 weeks?
All the cops would take you out the middle of nowhere and make you walk home.
Well, that's it. There was actually consequences, like realistic, tangible consequences to our action. Whereas now, we're in the cuddle society.
Bubble wrap.
You made a mistake, mate. I know, and you've learned from it. So let's give you another go. No, probably not, because you just walk out the courthouse and you just go, what a goose.
Beat them again.
That's it. So we can enforce our way out of it, and it won't take long for the attitude to change and go, well, actually something's really going to happen to me if I get caught driving unlicensed.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, people go in there nowadays and say, my wife or my uncle died, and I've had mental depression, and I know that exists, but people can use that, and they get out of court, they beat them again.
Yeah.
That's got to stop.
Oh, well,
because it's killing people.
Yeah, and it does, and the people who don't enforce, or just give these sentences, like, I don't know how they sleep at night sometimes. And then we want to change behaviours, especially around the road space, but we don't, because the penalties are ridiculous.
Yeah. Would it change if these people are giving their verdicts out, have something close to them happen, and then they realise is that what it's going to take for? Surely they're in a position where they've got to show some authority. And I totally agree with what you're saying. Yeah. It's like anything now these days. Most of the offences happen in anything day-to-day thing over kids between 14, 16 and 17. If they're going to be that bad, they're going to learn, mate. Put them in the big house with the big boys and let them bloody see what it's really like for a week. And that might sharpen them up. But if it's not, well, I don't know. It's the same thing. Where do you start? Where do you stop?
Well, people will say that's an overreaction.
Well, it's not.
But is it an overreaction if it stops them from killing someone?
Yeah, so you save one life?
Yes.
And that's stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like what you said, Grubby, like, does it take somebody to be in my position that is in an authority to go, this is what we need to do? Yeah. I can't change anything. I can only have an opinion on what I think, and Leanne has an opinion too, and we discuss these things all the time. But it's only our opinion. Realistically, we think about what potentially could have an impact. But like the same deal, we can't control our dickheads drive on the road. We can't control these people that can actually make a change to make a change.
Well, your opinions are obviously fantastic, but it's the people who are listening to it. Will they listen? Because if they don't listen, it don't matter.
Yeah, well, look, we've been in some conversations, and yes, we have had some sort of impact with some people, but it is hard for for when people that's how they make a living in this field to accept that someone's actually got a better idea than me. So for some people, it's just it's like I sort of find that it's like it's all these separate people that want to be the ones that I'm better than you. Hang on a minute, we've all got great ideas. Instead of having all these individual things, let's just all pull our thought processes together and not just have a sit around kumbaya chat. Let's actually get something out of it so that we can change things. And, a lot of things that happen are reactive stuff, not proactive. It doesn't. Things will only happen, or come about after something's happened. Instead of also using what has been happened to potentially make things not happen in the future.
And is there a problem? And I think it is, because I do this. You sit on 70, 68 in a 60 zone, and you think, well, under control. And this is not dangerous at all. But the 60 speed limit has been put there for a reason. So in actual fact, you are a bit dangerous.
Yeah. And look, one thing that I think about is because a lot of the attitude is between 1 and 5 k's over speed limit is acceptable. All right. And then we also have the attitude around speed cameras being revenue raised. Okay, so my opinion on that is, well, they don't raise revenue if we don't speed, so it's your choice whether you want to report. But if we want to get people to change their attitude, why couldn't we then go, all right, 1 to 5 kilometres, let's take away the mandatory fine, but double the demerit points. Right. So then it's something that's more realistic for somebody to be able to go, well, hang on a minute, I've only got 13 demerit points. Okay, it's not a money-making grab. It's now, yes, they're taking my potential ability off me to drive if I continue to do this. But as well, when you go from 5 to 10 kilometres over the limit, perhaps double the fine.
Yeah.
Because you actually know, and you can tell when you're doing more than 5 kilometres over the limit.
Oh yeah. If you drive through a 60 zone and you're doing 65, you probably don't really understand it. But if you're doing 80. And it's a 60 zone, you know that.
Yeah, or even if you're doing, between 65 and 70, you actually know.
Yeah, that's what happened to me last week. The copper in Lara pulled me over. He got me for doing 69 in a 60. Right?
And 70. 69 and 70.
Yeah, and I win. Yeah. And he said, well, listen, mate, we take 3 or 4 off for you. You're probably doing 72, 73. And I said, oh, all right. He gave me a bit of a lecture on what could happen.
Yeah.
And he goes, really, this is what to get going. Bugger him, I've done another couple $100.
Yeah.
And it's all pretty blasé. Well, I'm just saying, this is what happens.
And what you're saying is the attitude of 99.9% of people.
So how do we change it? Like I've changed, I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, and that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm sort of thinking that something, whether that can work or not, I don't know. But it's a starting point of a conversation about to change the attitude that speeding fines are just there to grab money. Yeah.
As you said, don't do the wrong thing, and they don't grab money. It's like people whinge about getting a parking fine in town. They overstay the limits.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I think and also, it's just this big stick. If someone hasn't had a speeding fine in 10 years, well, throw a couple of demerit points their way, sort of thing.
Or even, send them a gold class, 2 gold class tickets in the mail because they've been, a great driver and they've been safe and, they haven't broken the law.
Well, players get 6 points, don't they? I think players get 6 points.
Yeah.
Right. So then after you have your license for 7 years or whatever it is, you get an extra point.
Every 3 years we have the ability to get
points back.
Yeah, 13 points.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's 3 years without doing anything wrong. But then when you have a system that comes up and says, right, you've got 6 as a P plater. Every year for your license, you get a point until you get to your 13 points.
Well, that's what it's all about. Right? Have you ever lost your license?
Once when I was 18.
Yep.
Might have done something stupid.
My follow-up question is, did it teach you anything?
Well, the fact is, I spent 15 years on the road, bro, and my license is my job, so I didn't do anything, and that's where I'm at. Maybe it didn't teach me much when I was an idiot 18-year-old, but over life, you know, once you have kids and once that sort of side settles in, it teaches you a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Well, early in my career, I got done for 0.05. I was 0.075. In them days, anything under 0.08, they usually let you go, but they didn't. This bloke didn't. I ended up going to court, and I got a warning and a bond and all that sort of stuff. So, but the warning and the bond, that didn't worry me. Was the fact that I think I'm not doing this again. So I actually learnt something. I never learnt something from your speeding tickets, but I learnt something from that. But it's about time people now started to learn, and otherwise, no matter what you say, what anyone says, it ain't going to work unless people bloody well listen.
Yeah, like, and I even believe that we all should be 0-0, not just truck drivers and learners and people, because there's a reason why they're 0-0. Because they've looked at, if there's any alcohol in the system, they're dangerous. So what makes it all of a sudden, once you get your driver's license, that you can now, from day one, you become a licensed driver. You can now drive alcohol in the system. But I think you'll find that a lot of people that actually get, I haven't got any evidence to back it up, it's just my thought process, that people that get done for 0.05 are the ones that are thinking, am I or aren't I? The ones that are just over. Yeah. So they're the type of people that you're going to go, all right, well, I'm going out tonight, I'm either drinking or I'm driving.
Yep.
And like we said earlier about the idiots, you're not going to stop the guys that, throw 10 beers down their throat and jump the car and drive. You're not going to stop them. No. But you're going to get the people that are, well, am I or aren't I over the limit? They're the ones that are going to be putting all of us at risk.
You're right. And the other thing you said was spot on. I've seen blokes who could blow 0.10 and you wouldn't know they were drinking.
Yeah.
I've seen blokes that have blown, say, 0.49 and they're a bit tipsy because everybody's tipsy.
That's correct, and the way we all break down our alcohol, like, you look at the 3 or 4 of us in here, we're all different body shapes and makeup, so it all affects us differently. Like, I knew years ago that drinking VB and Carlton affected me. Like, I would have, back in the days when we could have a travel, I'd have 2 on the way home from work as a trade. And when I walked in the door, my wife would tell me not to have it. But then if I had a can of Jim Beam, she didn't know unless I gave her a kiss when I got home. So, so the beer actually, whatever was in the beer then affected me different than everybody else.
Who knows what's in there, mate?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So if we make it 0-0, well then there's no
issue.
There's no question. You either drive, go out for dinner and drive, or you go out for dinner and you get an Uber, or you have another way of getting back home. And that way, we're all making sure that majority of the people that are on our roads don't have alcohol in their system.
We're lucky that way. We have a rotating roster for our kids. They have to take us out to date night every fortnight, so they drop us off and pick us up. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's what you need to do.
Well, listen, mate.
Before you go, think what other instances that you just don't think, right? We went out for dinner, right, to the Chinese, Master Wok. We're on the way home, and I said to Lisa, just pull over. I said, just pull over with. So she pulled over. I said, no, you get in here and I'll get in here. She said, what do you mean? I said, you've had 3 glasses of wine. I said, no, I didn't have a drink. What the hell are you driving for? She went, oh, Jesus. She said, oh, yes. So we swapped over.
Depends whose car you take, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And if it was 0-0?
Well, 3 glasses of wine might nearly be 0.05.
Well, it probably would have been.
Yeah.
Depends on the time.
And how many over a time period, and also the makeup of your wife. And they can have less than what a male can because of their body makeup as well too. But the same scenario, if it's 0-0, she wouldn't. As soon as she had that first glass of wine, she would have said, "Well, I'm not driving."
Yeah. But the whole thing of that is, I hadn't had a drink, so I probably should have been driving anyway. I just didn't think about it.
But because it wasn't, it was that because you are allowed to drive with a certain amount of alcohol in your system.
Yeah.
It's second nature, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And they're the sorts of things that I think over time it will change, but we just need to get a point to where it is going to change.
All right, mate. Well, we can sit here and talk to you all day, mate. The message is so vitally important. Any clubs that jump on websites and find out how to get Norm, Leanne, and their slideshow down to your club. I'm sure if Bannockburn Footy Club a call, someone will be able to get in touch with you, mate, or the TAC, or any other way they can get hold of you.
Yeah, look, we haven't done a lot for a long time. first one back after a long time was last week. So, it is pretty tough on us to do, but certain circumstances, we're quite prepared to, we'll have a discussion about it before we do anything because we need to. We didn't look after ourselves in the first one. Pretty much.
No, fair enough.
We just did it flat out.
Yep.
And it wasn't until the break that we both realised how it affected us mentally.
I did see one of yours early on too. So, listen,
so,
mate, absolutely fantastic. We can speak to you all day, mate.
We've got a game of footy to get.
Well, maybe we will anyway. I'm about the footy. Actually, did you play footy?
Yeah.
Now, the question I was going to ask right at the start, you a better player than John?
No way. No way.
You're supposed to say yes.
Nah. Like,
You got to build your kids up, bro.
the only thing that I was better at what he is now is I was faster. I used to be a pro sprinter as well. So I was faster, and I played in the Diamond Valley Football League. So you can pretty much Montmorency.
Okay.
So you can pretty much guess what used to go on then with the blokes that were good.
Anyway, you were quick.
Jai played up until under 11s at Bonnie, and Luke played under 17s, and then we moved here, and I coached Luke back at Montmorency, 14s and 15s, and then 2010 I coached Jai's team in 2010. And I only took it on, kept on going, because Luke was the one that said to me, Dad, these guys need good position to play good. And it was great because it got me out for a couple of hours a night at training. And one thing I can pretty much boast about is that Jai and I are captain, coach, premiership. We got a premiership in that year. We played against South Barwon, and
There's nothing better.
and I thought, geez, with these rotations, I'm playing an AFL side. We're down by 3/4 time, and we got home and won, which was great.
The runner used to come out, mate. Used to run the other way back in our day.
So,
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, mate. We really appreciate it, and people take the message in. And if you're going to drink responsibly. There are plenty of ways to get home.
Oh, that's correct. And look, and just if I can afford everybody out there, just think about your family and friends every time you get in that car. What I would like you to do is make sure that you get to your destination and get back home again, because the worst thing that anyone can get is the thing that I got at about 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's clear.
29 There's someone knocking on the door to tell you your loved one's not coming home. They just died in a car accident, and it's not the best. It's started a whole world of pain, and look, the pain don't go away. It doesn't go away, and even if I don't talk about this stuff, I've still got that pain. But Luke's message is an important message. He was a good kid. He wasn't a hoon driver. He never got in trouble at school. He was, a fantastic young bloke. And you don't have to be a clown. All the time at school. You don't have to be somebody that's in and out of trouble, or a hoon driver, or whatever. It can just happen to anybody as soon as you make a stupid decision. And
One decision can affect so many.
Well, it does, and that's like the ripple effect campaign. One death affected over 200 lives.
It does. All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time. We're going to go a footy to call starting shortly. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you in the box with us, mate.
And thank you for making the time for me today.
No.
And for us as a family, like we said, these rounds, to bring it out in people's mind, helps, because every time you hear about it on the radio or on the telly, it's just another new story. So, thanks, guys.
All right, mate. Thank you very much.
And have a good call, boys.
And a great 15 minutes too.
Message could be done in 15.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
Norm Robertson, thank you very much for your time. A very important message, TAC round, obviously. Lads, we've got about 7 minutes till we kick off. Thanks, mate. About 7 minutes till we kick off. We can quickly run down the games that we've got to look at. Grub's talking. Winch East, Dale.
Yeah, looks like he's starting to get unless they get the players back, they're going to start. So I think he's on that game.
There's one at West Oval, mate. Giants versus Fryer.
Could be very interesting. I think I'm going to go Fryer. I just don't know whether West still injury prone, a lot of older players out. It's giving some young kids go, which I think is a great thing. And that can only improve for next year. I think undermanned, they're going to struggle. So I think, even though it's at West, I reckon Bannockburn. I know Inglewood have made a multiple list of changes for this game, but I still think the plan there will be good enough to win the footy.
Thompson Werribee would be a good game to put it down there at Thompson.
Pity it wasn't Werribee, because I think Werribee, a bit like playing Belmont Lions, mate, they're always better at home. There's 3 or 4 goals on the side. I think the game Thompson showed last week, and really prior to the sort of 100 points, was a really good win in the conditions and everything. So,
and that Correa.
Yes, true. So I think Thompson have found a bit of rhythm, and I think they will win the game pretty.
And down at
I think Werribee will win that. They'll turn the corner today. Werribee have a big win.
Turn the corner and get there, you reckon? Huh?
He's not been already.
Yeah, I think he has been.
He's
been on the Kool-Aid. North Geelong, Belmont at North Geelong.
I tell you what, I'm going for North to win their only game for the year. They'll be that desperate to win one. Belmont are up and down. Where's it at?
At North.
It's at North. I tell you what.
Is Rat still on the coaching chair?
I don't know. I don't know if Aiden's back this week or not.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it matters. They are going to just get everything to win a game. And you know what? At North, their form has improved since their coaches left. And I'm going to tip them to beat Belmont by 3 points.
Dale?
Yeah, look, I still think Belmont are good enough to win the game of football, because the North Geelong really have been very, very disappointing. Evans, the big fella, I'm not too sure that he's back in their side. I think they missed him last week, obviously, because of his size. He's a competitive beast, I reckon.
North Geelong have got a good ruckman.
Yeah, well, they have, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I think if he's back in the side, that will eliminate that a little bit.
Jack, Jed and Ben are all in.
Right, I'm going to stay with the Lions this week. I don't think North Geelong will win.
And today's game, there's been a few changes out here as well, both sides. But how do we see today's game panning out? Belpostal or Bannockburn versus Belpostal? Right?
Yeah.
How do we see today's game panning out, mate?
It's so hard. It's so hard, and it's hard because of Bannockburn. Because Bannockburn come with their A game, and they're a very good side. They come with the game they played against Werribee a couple of weeks ago, and they get belted out here today because Belpost Hill both sides aren't playing well. I've got a funny feeling Bannockburn will play really, really well. I think they'll play one of their better games. But I'm still not just sure they can beat Belpost Hill, are probably the equal of anyone in the league on their best day. So if both sides have their best day, it will obviously be Belpost Hill. But I think Bannockburn can win at home. But the way they're put on Belpost Hill for a tip, I think I have to tip Belpost Hill just. But be wary, because Bannockburn with their kids will really go up to them early in the game.
Dale?
I'm hoping that Bannockburn win the game of football, but Belpost Hill have got a pretty sound record out here.
Why are you hoping? Why are you hoping Bannockburn?
Is this for the Dale Smith Cup?
Why are you hoping, Bannock? That's biasness.
Biasness.
Well, you just be happy we now don't have any chance to come.
Yeah, I was bullshit.
Yeah.
You're serious.
No, I'm dead serious. I want to see Bannockburn play finals football.
Yeah, fair enough, too.
What, because you live here?
Oh, well. Yeah,
Well,
it's no problem with that, is there?
they sacked you, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
Oh, no, that was in Bully and Bell Park and Belpost Hill.
We never sacked him, mate. We never sacked him, mate.
And Geelong.
In Geelong.
I wasn't asking about the game.
They didn't sack me.
I actually finished my time. So no, look, I think, as I said, I just reckon Bannockburn, when they play their very best football, and Ronnie actually said it earlier, when they play their very best, they can play some good football. But the record here with Belpost Hill at this ground, doesn't matter if it's here or in Belpost Hill, I just think they're playing a more consistent brand of football. I know they lose Bo Collins this week, but they bring back Dill Whitney, so you got 1-for-1.
Sable, Whitney, and who's the other one that came in as well? Missed the other week. Mitch Miller came in, so.
It'll be very, very interesting to see.
Brian's was that one.
Brian, sorry, he's that one.
Yeah.
Not yet.
It'll be interesting to see how Sable goes. Shroud at Sable.
We're going to go Sable.
We're going to double back it.
But he is a really, really good player, but he's been out for 15 weeks or whatever it is, and he will be a bit rusty. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes and how he goes in the next few.
And Dill do the same. Like Dill being out. But he probably, being experienced, probably knows how to manage himself a bit better.
His experience in the GDFL, he knows where to run. If he's not getting a kick, he can run and get the easy kick for a while and get a few touches and get the confidence up. So I'm not too worried about Dill.
All right, to see Cozzy playing too after last week's little
Poke in the eye.
episode. Yeah,
It is, and it's also good for Belpost still to see Matty James and Jane Ettridge in the seconds.
Seconds, yeah.
Hopefully they're fair. I spoke to Matty James.
I said, what's he just going to kick around in the seconds? He said, no. I'm going to try and get fit and play senior football on St Albans. And that will be a bonus if he can.
All right. Well, interesting. I was going to raise that Bannockburn had 32 points last week, and 6 of those was Reece Conker. So they're only 26 today. So junior program works well out here. All right. Better get the promo done back in the studio and get ready to call the action.
Players have moved to their positions there now, waiting for the umpires to start this game. As the ball off in the middle of the ground, Hammond's going to be up against Randall Abbott, who's been a revelation for the Panthers this year, going back, provides with a big option in the middle of the ground, gets the first tap out, goes to the hands there of Peters it was, couldn't get a quick kick away, hit Peters on link, and Peters been held up there, and the ball was kind of dirty, so that's the umpire, middle of the circle again, the ball will be thrown back in the air. Players have come in around the contest, so there's a number around there. Lovett tried to kick the ball off the ground, couldn't get clean contact. And the free kick's going to go, and it's going to go to Jersey. So Bannockburn with that first clear kick out of the middle of the ground, go towards centre wing, up front goes with strong hands. As he has done a number of times for the Belfast Hill Panthers. Goes with an option outside, it goes to Baseley. Put him under a little bit of pressure, got kicked on the left foot, didn't travel too far. Ball gets out the back, over the top, goes towards that's picks the ball up, handball goes inside to Andrews, and he needs to go back into their forward line. Mark not taken there, ball comes to ground, measures, takes the ball up, goes sideways, picks up and kicks around the body, and that was Stu Spiller. Mark was taken by Jervis, he goes back inside, went looking for Peters, kicked in, hit the target, so picked up by Baseley. He goes back into the forward line, forward on the lead, coming out across his path with Measures, got the handball outside. They win possession of the ball, but they put themselves under a bit of pressure now. Goes to Henderson, he got the handball back out to Spiller. Spiller put his head over the ball, was taken high, and a free kick will be paid. So Spiller, again for Bannockburn in their back half, is going to be something being changed here now. The free kick was there, now it's going to Will Ford. So obviously something was done there, and it's going to go at the centre forward, and he's inside 50 and shoot for the first goal of the afternoon.
I wasn't watching there, mate. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, no, obviously once he was awarded the free kick, not too short, so he head back to where Spiller was trotting to. Yeah.
Something maybe set off the ball, who knows?
Forward, well with your range here, and you know he can. That is a accurate kick at goal. And he steps in now. Clean kick at the ball. That is good for that body. You call that very good, mate. It is a behind to Belfast Hill. They're the first score in the afternoon. They've gone 2 minutes. Fairhaven O's first quarter scoreboard. It is Belfast Hill 1 behind. Bannockburn gets the score.
What a wonderful goal. Who kicked it? I'll just come back.
That was a point for Will Ford, mate.
All right, good.
And, congrats to Brad Watts playing game 250 today.
Yeah, we missed that, didn't we?
We did.
Anyway. What a magnificent effort from a magnificent player and a magnificent player.
Clifton brings it in, goes short, finds a target. And looking to run the ball out of defence here. Options are dried up pretty quick. Handball by Bowden. Nice long kick. Oh no, gets smothered on the boot there, but just not a good kick. Ball just outside, 50 for Banno now. Really short, but the ball's been chopped off. Who's got that? Is that Yates again? Another. That's 2 overhead marks in the first 3 minutes. It's a good start. Yates and Belfast still now to drive them back into attack. Goes long, looking for Costello. He's got a hook around him, and he's taking an absolute cracking grab. 3 opponents all around him. The eyesight's obviously all right.
Well, you would think so, yeah. And his eyesight's good enough probably to take a contender for the Morris Finance mark of the day. And before he kicks this, umpires today are Adam Jones, Simon Patterson, and Gavin Reed. So good luck, boys.
There we go. All right. So Nick Costello just about to cross the 50-metre line. We'll kick this from about 40. Nearly the same spot Will Ford just had a kick a minute ago. And Costello onto the boot. Goal umpire doesn't move as far this time. And there is the first goal for the day goes to Nick Costello and Belpost Still. They move to 1-1-7. Bannockburn hit the score. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's good for Belpost Still that happens, but it's even better for Cozzy. He's coming off a day where he'd rather forget. He'd chase that young person up the ground who run like bloody the wind there.
37 bounces.
And then he got his eye hurt, and that, so his confidence would naturally drop, but he's a confident kid, obviously. That was a great mark and a great start, great goal. And that'll help his confidence today as well.
Back in the middle now, Lovett having to get Lovett wins the ball down. Bit of a star mate, wins his own ball in the end, gets the handball at the Yates. Yates is wrapped up, trying to burst his way through, does get in, he gets the handball out to Skronski. Brian picks the ball up, goes to fresh air. Skronski again, trying to burst through, good pressure, probably a free kick there, the others let it go. That's Nick Peters driving Bannockburn into attack. Oh, what does the umpires pick the free kick here and go on play on? So, ball on the hands of Alfred. Alfred, that beautifully. He's got that Elzinger out there with the ball out. So Liam Elzinger, kick from about 45 directly in front to get Bannockburns for the first of the afternoon. So,
you know I say this every time, but they need Peters on early.
oh, grubby. Anyone in the crowd love you, mate. Liam Elzinger now coming in. Nice looking kick off the boot. Seems to push to the right, and that's what's happened. So the first -4 goes on the board for Banno. Fair home home's first quarter scoreboard. So he's still 1-1. Bannockburn one behind.
So basically down doing the kicking and duties. Probably does this a lot before the home side.
You should know that, though.
He's supposed to get a kick back there. He plays on now, far side of the ground he goes. Long kick out towards centre wing. Hammond in front, out the back it goes. McNamara takes it on his chest. So McNamara now with some time and some space just to settle things down. Still, as I said, that won't be any rush to move the ball forward. He does play on body umpire. Go back to the half-forward line in front. Mark on taken out there by Andrews. Cleaned up there by Costello. Ball goes down back into the forward line. Forward on a strong lead. Good ball from behind. Ball comes to the front of the contest. Goes back. Picked up by Andrews again. Goes Costello to his neck. Looks sideways. Kicked in front of that bar. Basically has to go on now with a high tackle. And he will go back and kick into an half-forward position. Goes off to Whitney by hand. He plays on. Left boot goes back towards goal. Just off line through for a -4. Goalpost 2-2-1-2. Bannockburn are the one solitary behind. Just on 6 minutes. First quarter scoreboard. Clifton, he does kicking and duties. So that's just on his bow. It's going to do the kicking and duties. He comes to our side of the ground, which is great. Ball not marked out there in front of it. Picked up there. Beautiful. Went with the handle out. Ball came out in the tackle. Good strong tackle there. Free kick is going to go to Mark. So Mark now just outside for 50. He'll look to put them back into attack. Goes looking for Bart and get too strong to kick. And out the back, Mark is taken land by Jervy. So he can settle things down. And he decides to go quickly for Bannockburn. Back through the middle of the ground. Goes looking towards the middle of the ground. Ends up in the hands of Hammond. Goes back on his left foot. Looks up and goes long. Big task here. Out in front is Fulton. And he did that nicely, protecting the space. And he will go back and shoot for his first goal of the afternoon. And try and close the gap as it currently stands at 7 points. 2 points on the scoreboard there. They have kicked the goal.
Because for some reason this.
Yeah, they missed the goal, Dale.
Yes, so Kieran Fulton. He's been amongst the goals too much in recent weeks. So an opportunity to get on it early here. Goes back. Kicks a goal. It's going across the face, and it is offline through for a -4. 2 behinds to Bannockburn. 1-2 to Belpost Hill. 7.5 behind Fair over Huns. First quarter scoreboard.
Basically about to bring the ball back in for Belpost Hill. He's waiting for his options. Looking to come to the commentary side of the change room side of the ground. Does so. Looking for Andrews. It's a nice looking kick. Andrews flies. Can't quite rub the mark. Trickles out of bounds in front of the club rooms here on the west side of the ground. So, fair out with the ball now, about to throw it back in. They love it, and Hammond going for it. Hammond wins that one down. I think the boys picked something out here too high. We'll go to, is that the Yates again? Yes, it is. He's been a stellar patch so far in the last few weeks, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yates goes in short. That's a nice kick to Bill Whitney. He turns around. Oh, that's not Whitney. It's Sable, sorry. Sable going along looking for forward. Can't quite get there, but in front was Stagger. Put the mark down. Picked up there by Kerrins. Dispossessed, and the umpire sees it that way too, Grub. So, yep, he did. So, Bannockburn took the ball outside 50 now. Then Brock is down the ground. It was not a great kick. Put the Elzing under all sorts of pressure. Picked the ball out. Sable handballs back again. Quick handball in the middle, looking for Lovett. Lovett does well to get it. Back to Sable. Going back to Cubby Basely. Basely gets tackled, gets a handball away. Ball falls in the hands of Lovett, who handballs back to Basely. And finally, Belpost still get a kick away, drive forward. So, Blackavento watches the ball go over in front of him.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
I've been waiting for that all day,
So
Grub.
have I. His old man had a crack at me after last week's game.
Oh, well.
I told him it was Dale.
No, you didn't. He told him it was me. He said the bloke should know better where the ball's been thrown back in now. So Barton wins the tap. Dul Whitney swings on the left foot, kicks it long, looking for Ford. Ford out number 2-1.
Tommy Bath.
Yeah, it was Barthy. Yes, it was. Wins the ball, chips it out towards the 250-game veteran Brad Watts, who's been chased by Costello. But Dan Marr chips across and takes a relieving mark for Belpost Hill. Looking in the middle, that's a great kick too. Finds Sable. Sable had Basely going past, but ignored that. Goes short towards Barton, pops up the hospital pass. Doesn't quite take it. Basely follows up well. Kerrins dives on top of it, and then Bowden's gone on top of him. So umpire will say it's all mine of the ball. We've gone 10 minutes in this Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard. So he's Belpost still 1-2-8. Bannockburn 2 behinds. Barton wins a tap down towards Sable, bounces off his chest, picked up well there by Hose, but he's wrapped up immediately and brought down to ground. The umpire's called for the ball again. So got Lovett versus Hammond going at it again. Hammond goes up high, Lovett holds his ground, taps it down. Sable runs straight through inside 50. There's a flying shot at goal. Unfortunately, he's pushed it to the right. So Belpost still moved to 1-3. Bannockburn 2 behinds with that behind to Sable. We've gone 10.5 minutes now.
Tell you what, in 15 weeks out, I'll tell you what, he's the best on the ground in the first 10 minutes. He's had that many touches, but they will have to manage him throughout the game, you would think, because of his match fitness.
So Ryan Bowden now doing kicking in from the for Bannockburn. He decides again to come outside of the ground, which we really enjoyed. Ball comes out. Marr up in front. Good task there, and he takes it. Looks to go quickly. Umpire says he hasn't gone yet. Now he goes back towards Ford. He's up, but over the top of his head it went. And this time it's Luke Bowden that takes the mark in defence. So Luke Bowden now, just to settle things down again. They've got some options. He's going to go straight down the middle of the ground by the looks of things. Hetherington makes his move towards that point. Love it in front. Good strong hands. I thought he had plenty of it. Comes to the ground. Out towards Hammond. Needs to feed the ball out. He does so. Again, running back to kick the ball up. There was Clissold on the left boot. Comes across the ground. Great kick into the hands of McNamara. He plays on quickly. Goes back into the middle. Kick was okay. Found Flacavento. He goes wide. Runners outside. And he has Staggard once again. So a little bit of time and space now. So he looks up. Goes into their forward line quickly. A low flat kick. Probably a little too much on it. Goes back. Perkins couldn't pick the ball up cleanly. Went back and collected it. Got nicely out of the contest. Goes to his teammate and got it back with a 1-2. They run forward. This time Hetherington up in front and takes the mark. So Hetherington now, he looks to chip the ball out towards centre wing. Peters has made some space, and that's Link. He takes the ball on his chest and plays on. Goes long back towards Fulton. McNamara goes back, but Fulton takes the mark, and he will go back and have a shot for goal. Similar place to the last. And this time make the adjustment and we'll kick the goal, hopefully.
Well, I tell you what, he might kick the goal, but that was young Perkins, the young kid up the other end who got in and got the hard ball, came back, got it again. That's fantastic play, not just for a young kid, for anybody. That was terrific football. And Link Peters and all those blokes, their possessions and their disposal all the way up the ground that time was first rate.
So Fulton now with a kick at goal, probably about 25 to 30 metres out. Bit of an angle to work with. This kick looks okay. The umpire has not moved, and he has got his first goal of the afternoon. Bannockburn, they move to 1-2. Belpost still a 1-3. 13 minutes gone. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
I just thought Belpost still looked the better side for a while in the first 5 or 6 minutes. They had more of the ball, but a couple of little pieces of play from Bannockburn look real dangerous. And I'll tell you, if that's the state of the game, then we're going to see a really, really good game here, because I thought Belpost a little bit on top, then Bannockburn produced that gem of a football. And that's what we come to see, the GDFL football. Football like that, from the back line from a kid, all the way down to one of the experienced players putting it right through.
Barton and Hammond in the middle now. Barton wins the tap down, follows up, tries to tap it forward again. Pulls in the hands of Brian's dispossessed. Yates dives straight in on top of the ball, taken too high, and win the resultant free kick. So he swings the ball out wide, nice little kick there. So looking at options coming forward, waiting for Will Ford to move. I think that's what they're doing. That's what's happened now. Will Ford, strong lead down the middle, flies, knocked down 3-on-1. Costello picks up the crumb, throws on the boot, and has kicked another minor score for Belpost. Still, they move to 1-4 now. So opportunities, Grub, you've got to take them, don't you?
Yeah, well, do they need another option? They're going for Will Ford all the time, and they've got a couple of blokes covering him. They need to find another option to look at.
Ryan Perkins brings it in. Not a great kick off the boot, but does get a bit of distance. It's in the side of the centre square now, picked up by Fulton as the teams have moved up the ground. Knock forward there. Staggart about to run onto it. Does so. Swings on the right foot. Sends Belpo still back into attack. No one at home for this one, though. Ball bounces and goes over out of bounds. Got to say about Ryan Perkins, he moves a little better than the old man used to, doesn't he? Hey, old gripper. Hey?
Hey, don't have a go at him too much. He's running the bar, you idiot.
Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, just outside. Belpo still forward 50 here. Ball thrown in. We've got Barton and Hammond again. Barton wins the tap down. Quick kick into the Belpo still forward line. No one really flew for it. The ball punched down. It's still no contact. Who's picked that? Is that Barton has picked that up then? Timmy Barton's had a flying shot at goal. And has just got across and through for another minor score. So Belpo still go to 1-5. 1-5-11, leading Bannockburn 1-2-8. And we have gone 15 minutes. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
And he is the only ruck option for second ruck. Come on.
So the ball now into the hands of Bowden. So it's Bowden to Bowden. He brings the ball around club room side. Up from behind, Hetherington doesn't take the mark. Peters at the front of the contest. Took that ball nicely out the back. Went to Fulton. Got around the player coming at him. This was Costello. Ball goes back towards half forward line. Peters out in front. Couldn't take the mark. Went back and collected it though. Handballs over the top to Robinson. Looks inside. Fends off. Needs to get rid of the ball. Did so by a little boot. Goes back towards centre wing. Picked up out there. And it's going to be a free kick there. To Peters, what did he indicate?
Straight front of contact, mate. Didn't look at the ball.
Yeah, so absolutely no free kick whatsoever.
So Peters with the ball now. He chips up over the top, goes looking for Fulton, takes the mark, and did that nicely. So Fulton with some early touches. Osmond inside. He goes down the line this time. It was wide, just inside the boundary line. Mark has been taken out there. Jervis, yes. So Jervis now plays on, looks to go across the ground, has a player in space, and that is a good kick because the mark has been taken out there, and I reckon that's Osmond out there. So he will go back and kick for goal. He's about 40 metres out, directly in front of goal. So Aidan Osmond. Straight kick, as I said, no breeze here at all at the present time, which is good. So Osmond steps in, kicks from 45, hasn't got the accuracy and all the distance. Ball stays in the middle on the ground, so it's kicked off the ground there. Basically puts the ball back outside towards the half back line. Picked up there by Peters, swings it round, goes back to Osmond. Diving attempt at a mark, couldn't take it cleanly. Belpo still with some numbers now, picked up and cleared away by Bryans. Goes back out towards centre wing, but a bit too strong. Mark is taken there by Luke Bowden. He plays on quickly, goes back into the middle. Kick was not directed well enough. Picked up there, handball comes out to Ford. You can have a look at the goal. It goes over the top towards Costello and Measures. Tackle was laid, but Watts is there in support. Right boot just dribbles the ball round the boundary line. Now the race is on. Barton is best placed, but basically beats him to the ball. Left it behind, went back and collected. Handballed over the top to Whitney. Stepped inside, kicks back towards the goal square. Forward in front, ball gets out the back. Runs free. Flacavento's on the chase out there. I think Dan Measures is also after the ball. The ball goes over the boundary line, and things will settle down now as we have a throw in by the umpire.
Good to see Dan Measures back in the Bannockburn side too. He just provides that experience and calms them all down, settles them down.
Almost playing one loose, Banno, aren't they? The ball comes back in. So it's Ford versus Hammond. Ford takes it out of the ruck, spelled it off his boot. Or cruel bounce there. Peters runs onto it. Picked up there by, is that Fantella, I think?
Could be holding the ball.
And it is. But anyway, resultant free kick. Bannockburn driving through, go long now. No one home at all in the Ford 50. 3-on-2 though. Two of them have gone down. So about to run the ball is Hetherington. Picks it up, walks straight into an open goal and puts one straight through. Coast to coast, beautiful there. Callum Hetherington with his first of the afternoon, the second for Bannockburn. They go to 2-2-14, leading Belpo still 1-5-11. We've gone 18 minutes. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
Well, it's probably the same again. Like in general play, Belpo still maybe just edging them out. They've got into their forward line, but the Bannockburn defence have got it out. Then all of a sudden, Bannockburn produce another gem of a bit
transition.
of play of football, yeah. And probably there's two contenders for the Corio Bay Healthcare Player of the Day, resulting in 2 goals for them.
All right, love it. And Hammond back in the middle now. Love it. Win puts the left hand up, sort of half wins a tap. Falls to Yates. Yates trying to break a tackle. Has been wrapped up. What's the umpire going to do here?
No, ball that up. No Pryor that time.
Thank you, umpire Grubb.
Well, the other one was Pryor because he tried to shrug the tackle when he could have got rid of it. So that's Pryor.
Yep. Ball thrown up. Love it. Wins that one convincingly in front of Sable. Cruel bounce ends up in the hand of Peters. Peters brought to ground. Wrapped up. Going nowhere, but the umpire says that'll be my ball now. So here we go again. Two ruckmen nominate themselves. Lovett versus Hammond. Lovett gets down to Sable. Sable's wrapped up in a tackle straight away. Again, no Pryor Grubby, so he's not moving either. So
let's hope they don't pluck one now.
Yes, you're right, mate. So Lovett and Hammond. Lovett again wins that one over top to Yates. Yates tries to feed the handball back and does. Staggard moves it forward in front of Andrews. You can't quite take them up. He's good enough on the ground. Throws it onto the right boot. Dill Whitney playing out of the square at the moment, running towards it. But Zane Jones just tackled completely, taken off the ball. Ball rolls out of bounds. And I was got Zane Young. I was making names up now.
Well, it's a long way away. I didn't.
It was Jones.
No, I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is I don't think he had the football when he was flattened.
Oh, I think he might have come out in the tackle anyway. Lovett and Hammond have made the way down. Lovett wins that one easy. Goes over the head of Dill Whitney. Stacks on the mill again, and the umpires have no choice but to ball it up. And Dale, you got your wish, mate. There was no free kick plucked out.
No, it was good. Good work, and that's what you like to see. The game flowed naturally.
Absolutely. So Lovett and Hammond for about the 10th time today. Hammond wins that one down. Ball falls out of the pack now. Can't see. There's about 16 people in front of me, so I don't know who's actually got that. Is that Andrews, I think, with the ball? Wrapped up and dumped in the tackle on the ground. And he's paid.
Now, I want to know where the prior opportunity was for that one, because there was none.
Perkins takes the resultant free kick, chips the ball up long. Is this Henderson with the ball now?
Elzinger.
Oh, is that? Oh, I think they had a long sleeve jumper on before.
I think there's a lot of them have started to strip them off.
Yeah, so Elzinger goes long, just to confuse me enough. It's not that hard to do. But fantastic grab taken down there. Handball into Fulton. Fulton comes across again to Alford. Alford's wrapped up. Ball taken from him. Staggart over, runs it. Good enough to get back onto it. Goes back to Sable, who goes short to Lovett. That's about 7 metres, not 15. But anyway, Lovett chips the ball across now to Baseley. Baseley's got plenty of time.
We'll be in the votes there.
Yeah, absolutely will be. Actually, that's Bryans with the ball.
It's not Baseley,
no, it's Bryans with the ball. So he goes to Whitney. Whitney's led up on a very long lead. Takes it almost true centre wing here at Victoria Park. So Dill Whitney, that lovely left foot going long, looking for Andrews. Andrews knocked out off it by young Ryan Perkins, who escorts the ball over the line. So we've now gone 21 minutes. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard here. So he's the home side leading by 3 points over Belpo still. Ball comes back in. We've got Lovett and Hammond again. Lovett went to grab it out of the air. I think got Falcon there. Kick quick forward for Belpo still.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Oh,
Ball's over the back. Picked up here. That's by, is that Andrews picked that one up and has put it through for Belpo Still's second goal. They go to 2-5-17, leading Bannockburn 2-2-14. We've now gone 22 minutes. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
He positioned himself very, very well behind the pack, but when you're young, you're taught to when the ball goes in there, you have to have a defender behind the pack. And if there was one there, who knows? He still might kick the goal, but he'd be under immense pressure. But he was just sneaking out the pack on his own. You've really got to watch that as a defender. You can't go ball chasing. You've got to make sure that if a player is in a position to kick a goal, you have to be there to stop him.
So back in the middle we go again. And we said before, Hammond and Lovett doing the ruck work. Lovett gets the ball down, picked out of there by Peters. Handball comes out only as far as Yates. He was tackled by Link Peters. Ball at ground level now, and umpire will come in again. This time take possession. So just a couple of metres from the centre circle. Ball's thrown back up in the air again. Going over the top. Lovett taps it down. Fantella put his hand in there, got the ball out. Then the ball came out in the tackle. The ball was kept free. Now there's a free kick given.
And that's a good decision. The ball came back into play and Fantella was thrown to the ground when the ball was 3 metres away. So the umpires picked that out beautifully.
So Fantella now with the ball just defensive side of the centre circle. He looks to go towards the centre half forward position. Barton leads up on a lead. Strong hands. Takes the mark. So Barton now best next option. Goes long back towards the goal square. Whitney in space. Great kick.
Tell you what.
Great lead. Great mark. Good football.
We talk about him playing in the ruck or centre half back, centre half forward, or the way he tackles and you don't want to get in his way. But I tell you what, that's a string to his bow that a lot of big men don't have, and that was a magnificent kick.
So Dill Whitney lining up for his first goal of the afternoon. And he has missed again, which is unlike the man with the football in his hands.
Well,
so they
he doesn't play a lot of footy, Smithy.
Well, that's it. 2-6, Grubby. 2-6. They lead Bannockburn on 2-2. We have ticked towards 24 minutes. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
So Clifton brings the ball in, goes wide looking for Fulton contest, but Ren Lovett drops back, takes the mark, plays on immediately, chip the ball back into space. Barton and Ford are both there. Falls to Costello of the Adam variety. Ball on the ground. The umpire I think might come in. No, nearly out. Belpo sort of run free, but I think the umpire's now going to blow the whistle and say
he's not. He's
dropping the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to say holding the ball.
Yeah.
So Costello did all the hard work to fight and then didn't quite get the free kick. So, ball brought forward here. Good handballs from Alford there. Running through the middle, quick handball over towards Watts. Misses the target, so he's got people on his tail. He's tried to bust through. What's the umpire going to do here? Nothing. The ball spilled free, so here we go. Stacks on. Bo Mack runs through the ball, kicks the ball long towards Flacavento, who's one-on-one duel here with Measures. Flacavento wins this battle. Handball's back. That's a great little handball. That basically going towards the square. Andrews at the back takes a very good mark at the back of his opponent there. I think basically might have taken the long sleeves off too, has he?
Yep.
All right, there should be a rule about this, Dale. It's hard enough to see the players on the other side of the ground. They can't change jumpers during the day. Anyway, Josh Andrews now from the square comes in, puts Bellpost Hill's third goal on the board. He's second for the afternoon. It sees Bellpost Hill 3-6-24, leading Bannockburn 2-2-14. We've gone 25 minutes. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
Look, good mark, good goal, good everything. But when you get a bloke like Dan Measures, who's had so much experience, you would have thought he was able to nullify Flacavento. Flacavento used his body. And you know I say every week, people push them out with their hands. And that was pure body work. And that's what you like to see. None of this hands rubbish. He bumped him off the ball, gave himself some room, got it off, goal. Flacavento, beautiful, beautiful football.
Flacavento, you beauty. Ball back in the middle we go again. Hammond doing the ruck work. Love it. Once again gets his first hand on the ball. Tries to go back and get it out of there. Over the top of the ball is Sable, but the ball is not coming out, although it did just before the umpire blew the whistle.
That's absolute sacrilege. Sacrilege, that is.
Same class.
There's only one person you can say you beauty, and that's Jezelenko.
Ball out the back it goes, picked up out there, so it's going to be picked up by Watson, the right boot, goes back towards the half-forward line, basically running back with the flight, able to get a hand on it, goes back, collects it, went back inside, avoids a tackle. Bit of pressure from behind, but looks up, has plenty of time to go towards Costello. Couldn't pick the ball up. He tried to get it on hands and knees, but working at ground level was Henderson. Umpire said there's a leg in there, so he's going to be rewarded with a free kick. So Jack Henderson now, ball on centre wing. Looking to put Bannockburn into attack. Plays on now and goes short, leading up. Kunchka comes up, takes a mark off to Jervis, quickly by hand to the pocket. Nice look at the football, goes towards Fulton, and he's up. Big tall man's going to take a great man to bed over the top of him. And he can go back and shoot at his second goal. But from the boundary line, a big task from that pocket, I would think.
Flag is still, Dale. We've had 2 weeks in a row of perfect no-wind weather.
So Kieran Fulton from the boundary line. As I said, we'll just rely on player reaction here. Or the umpire in the goal square, one of the two. He comes in, kicks that goal. Umpire, tell you what, I don't think he's moved too much at all, but he's just off line and through for a minor score. Fulton with 1 goal, 2. Bannockburn now to 2-3, trailing Bellpost Hill on 3-6. 27 gone. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
Basically to bring the ball in, goes to the far side of the ground. Though you got to have the call well then, mate. It's a great kick too. Finds his teammate 60 out. So that's is that Sable is with the ball now?
Flacker.
Oh, it is. Oh, he's a long way up the ground, isn't he? So Flacavento again driving the ball long, looking for Whitney over the back. Almost the mark taken by Andrews. Ball hits the ground, fed out there, and bit of play there was by Beardsall, who knocked the ball up in Bellpost Hill, and now the ball's rushed over the line. We're going to have a boundary line throw in, probably true centre wing here at Victoria Park on the far side of the ground. So Lovett and Hammond to go at it again. Ball comes in now. Lovett wins that one down, but Shark there by Bellpost Hill. The siren has gone. The end of the Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard sees Bellpost Hill 3-6-24, leading the home side Bannockburn 2-2-14. Goal kickers, Dale.
Yes, to this stage of the game, we have for Bannockburn the home side 1-2 Fulton, 1-2 Hetherington, and for the Bellpost Hill side, there 3 are Andrews with 2, Costello Nick with 1. Take a short break, come back, go through everything that's happened here in the first quarter. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
And back here at Victoria Park in Bannockburn, it sees the home side 2-3-15 trailing the visitors Bell Post Hill 3-6-24. Before we go to Grubby for his wrap of the Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard, we have some scores from around the grounds. East Geelong 4-1-25, leading Winch 3-1-19. Geelong West Giants 3-4-22, Corio 3-4-22. Inverleigh 8-2-50, Anarchy 1-1-7. Thompson 5-4-34, Werribee 2-2-14, and the Belmont Lions 3-1-19, leading North Geelong 2-1-13. Grubby, your thoughts?
Well, a couple of good close games there too. Look, without any disrespect to any of the clubs we've seen over the last 4 or 5 weeks, that was the most entertaining quarter of football I've seen for quite a long time. I thought Bell Post Hill around the packs and the way they went into their forward line were good. Unfortunately, their kicking was a bit wasteful and could have been further in front. Bannockburn, on the other hand, were just a couple, 2 or 3 of magnificent bits of football that you want to come to the footy and watch, and that resulted in goals. So if that's the way it continues. I don't know if Bannockburn can let it continue that way. I think they've got to get in and under the ball like Bell Post Hill are doing and get a little bit more possession around the middle. But their defence is pretty good as well. I thought they looked for Will Ford too much in that first quarter. Not that he was outpointed, but I just think they put it up a little bit high for him a couple of times and made it quite a lot easier for the Bannockburn defenders just to spoil it away from him. But as I say, they're kicking. They could have been further in front, but that always gives the opposition a little. It just lets them stay in the game a bit longer, to the point where if they get something going of their own, they can come back and overtake it. I thought it was a really, really good quarter of footy. I thought Alex Beardsall was pretty good. Fulton looks very, very dangerous. I thought Link Peters had a good first half of the quarter, as did his brother Nick. I thought he was a very good player. I like young Ryan Perkins. He didn't get a real lot of the ball, but what he did, especially from that back line down there, it shows me that he's got some pretty big things in front of him, a bright future. It was even easier to find Bell Post Hill players. That bloke's run around everywhere. I thought Lovett won in the ruck. Flaccavento was pretty good. Yates, as always. Jordan Sable was magnificent for the first 15. I think he might have come off and had a rest, but he showed that being out of the game hasn't affected his talent whatsoever. Basically is good. You know, some of these players, as they get older and coming to the end of their career, they start to struggle a bit. But Bloody Basically gets better. He's just been fantastic. Josh Andrews looked dangerous again, kicked a goal and probably could have had 1 or 2 more. I thought Marr was good early. And I just like the young kid, Daniel Clissold. He gets the ball and he kicks it to position every time. And I just thought he had a little bit of influence as well. So, look, fantastic quarter for me to watch. And I just hope that the game continues in that same vein. And we'll have a terrific afternoon.
We'll head back to the studio, get the promo for the second quarter. It's about to get underway.
Is Nick Jones playing for them? Who? Nick Jones. Zane Jones.
Yeah, I'm 20.
They're the far side, the orange boot, isn't it? Got the orange boost on the far side.
Yep.
We haven't called him, have we?
Yep. We've called him a couple of times, though. Anyway, we're on air, mate, and young Daniel Clissold, mate, turned 18 during the week and got his licence as well. So, and a big cheerio to his sister Chloe, who'll be watching in her hospital at the moment.
And no cheerio to his old man, who's a terrible umpire.
He's in Werribee. He's in Werribee, Grubby. So,
what's he doing there?
I don't know. He's doing something with the umpires up there. Umpires
He's
advisor.
Lucky I'm not there, because being the mayor of Werribee, I'll be turfing him straight out.
Obviously, Chloe's going through a bit of a battle, so good luck, Chloe, with all that. And umpire about to start, Dale.
Yes, umpire with the ball in hand once again, Spide. So we're looking forward to this second quarter, which is just about to get underway. Ball is now thrown in the air. Hammond and also Lovett. Lovett gets the ball down. Hammond tried to kick the ball off and clear the centre circle. Was able to do so. Picked up by Yates. Umpire says, let's keep going with the ball. Basically was tackled and no prior opportunity there. Good call by the umpire. And he will come in and take possession of the ball. Going thrown up. Umpire down. Lovett down to Yates. They have that worked pretty nicely there. He goes towards Costello. That's Adam. Ball goes back towards Yates. Ball comes out in the tackle. He goes back and collects it once again. Dives on it. Got the handball out the back. Went to his teammate in Sable. He got a handball out wide. Went towards centre wing. It's going to be picked up there by Robinson. He got a handball further afield to Osborne. Osborne now on the right boot. Looks up, goes into the forward line. Great kick. Mark is taken out there by Kunchka. He goes quickly. Little short kick into the pocket. Fulton leads and takes the mark. And that's good quick play again. They seem to move the ball well, and when they do, they get quick results.
Yep.
So a decent kick back towards this goal, I would think. So Kieran Fulton to kick from, I reckon, right on the 50 when he comes in. Has a couple of looks early in the first quarter and can start things well for Bannockburn here little bit of breeze blowing out there at the present. So Fulton steps in from 50, kicks long, kicks just offline and through for a minor score. 1 goal 3 to Kieran Fulton. Bannockburn now to 2-4. They trail Bellpost Hill on 3-6, and we've gone just over a minute and a half. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
Very clever down there, having a gate to get through rather than climbing the fence.
I wouldn't be jumping at Spide.
No, neither would I, mate.
I would.
Basically brings the ball in, comes out looking for Mar. Mar takes the ball just inside defensive 50 for Bellpost Hill. Now looking at options down the line. Kicks long, looking for Lovett. Lovett puts the hands up, goes over the back, falls in the hand of Sable. Sable handballs the ball over the top to Whitney. Whitney breaks through attack, goes back to Sable. Sable throws the ball onto the boot. Going long to the Bellpost Hill forward line. Forward comes out and takes a great mark on his chest. Good to see a bit of space, Grubby, not 2 and 3 on 1. He's taken that one.
Well, that's right, and the kick actually made him run onto it, and when you have to run onto it, it makes it so hard for the defenders, as if it's a lot harder when you just go up for a mark with 2 blokes on you. When you've got to chase a bloke there, that's the space that you need, and it was a great kick to that space.
It was. Sable's been very influential so far, but Ford coming in now. We're kicking from about 40. Kicking towards the club room end of Bannockburn Reserve. And now we've got a nice view from here. Looks very good off the boots. Back. Fading a bit across, and he's hit the post. So Will Ford gets his second behind for the day. Gets Bellpost Hills at 7th. They move to 3-7-25. Leading Bannockburn 2-4-16. We've gone 3 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
Clifton,
Yep. Sorry, Godale.
Clifton's doing the kicking in. He goes to the far side of the ground, outside, basically gets his hand on the ball and puts it over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw-in which will take place out there on the far side between half forward and centre wing.
Geez, Rob Cameron wouldn't be happy. That's the first time we've seen Clifton kick it not to a Bannockburn player.
Yes, yeah. No. So Lovett moves himself across now, gets to the contest. Moocher Hammond there also. Ball thrown back in. Umpire again, Lovett with the left hand, taps it back towards the boundary line, and we're going to have a repeat of what we've just had.
Where is that idiot anyway?
In Keith.
Oh, Keith.
Yep.
Where's that, South Australia?
Yep.
Wouldn't matter, who cares? He'd be having a ball down there. Yeah.
So the ball is thrown back in. Lovett again, first use, goes back towards Yates. He tries to get through the contest. Lovett tries to help him out and take it out of his hands. Umpire says, give it back to me. We'll have another ball up which will take place. Hammond tries to get front position, but Lovett just manoeuvres himself into that hole. Picked up out there by Peters it was. Handball goes over the top. Ends up there with Beardsall outside. Goes to the running player in Osborne. He kicks in long. That's a great kick towards Hetherington. He doesn't let him down. Takes a mark and away. Runs to 35. Kicks that goal. A dribbler, which will run straight through. So Hetherington has his second and the third now for Bannockburn. They move to 3-4. They trail Bellpost Hill 3-7. 4 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre. Second quarter scoreboard.
It just goes to show you what, when you don't kick straight, can really affect what you're doing in the game. Like, Will Ford should kick that goal. He's a full forward. He should kick that goal. He doesn't, and it comes down, and Bannockburn make no mistakes. And all of a sudden, there's only 3 points in it. You know, it goes the other way. There's 9 points in it or whatever. But kicking for goal is the biggest skill that's dropped away from football. And I tell you what, whoever kicks better here today, if it's close, will win.
Oh, ball middle. Ren Lovett wins that one down quite comfortably. Stolen it from Bannockburn, swings it on the left foot. Going forward, looking for Alford. Alford takes doesn't quite take the mark. He's been paid a free kick for holding the man. So in front of Basely. Basely handballs the ball back to
give it
Alford.
back, son. You'll get 50.
Alford looking to drive Bannockburn back into attack. Does so now. Looking for Hetherington. That's a great kick and a fantastic grab by Hetherington there. So Callum Hetherington will go back about 30, 35 metres out. We'll have a good view of this one too. It's on our side of the ground, which is good. Looking at his third and Bannockburn's fourth for the day. So Hetherington on fire, coming in now. About to cross the 50-metre line here. Over he goes. Callum Hetherington now. Drops the ball on the boot. It's a nice looking kick off the boot. It's done just what it needed to do. Straight for the middle. Goal umpire doesn't move. Callum Hetherington has 3 for the day now. Bannockburn moved to 4-4-28, leading Bellpost Hill 3-7-25. We have gone 6 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, he's becoming a very, very dangerous player, Callum Hetherington. I think Bellpost Hill may have to look at that and put someone on him to counteract him. Otherwise, he might kick 4 or 5 goals here. But, yeah, look, he's becoming very dangerous. And that, as again, straight kicking's kept him in the game and now put him in front.
So back with the umpire we go again. This time Lovett's over the top again, gets his own ball. Couldn't put boot to it. Ball is asked to be played on by the umpire. Trying to work his way through was Whitney. Tapped forward. They've kept the ball alive and done nicely into the hands of Jones, who goes long into their forward line. Spoil was out there. It was good. Picked up in the hands there. Spiller brings the ball back towards centre wing. In front, Alford. Ball comes to ground. Alford's trying to claim the mark. Oh, I'm not too sure whether he had all of it, but anyway.
I thought basically had
I think there was a little bit in there. So he goes towards Kunska. Good ball there from McNamara. Kunska taps the ball out the back. Did nicely to Beardsall. Beardsall in a bit of space. Back towards Jervis. Jervis kicks the ball back inside and found Ben Lovett. Big fella couldn't take it on his chest. Picked up there by Flacavento. He was tackled. He's going to be held up. Ball has come out. Umpire allows things to roll. Yates tries to get the handball out. Kunska, good interception. Goes back towards Fulton. He's tackled. He's gang tackled. Brought to ground. Umpire said he incorrect disposal. And the free kick will go to Flacavento. This is Nick. So Nick Flacavento back by hand goes to Whitney. I'm not too sure that was his free kick. He just gave it to him, but he put him under a bit of pressure. Now that ball's come out, and Josh Kunska is going to have a chance to go back and have a look at goal himself.
Well, I tell you what, there was a few mistakes there from Whitney, from Bannockburn, and from Dale Smith.
Wow.
Hey, he looks like he's going to get the cook, does he? What's he going to cook? Bacon, eggs?
Yeah, that's like we had their breakfast this morning, Grub.
I can't
Kunska,
leave that one.
Kunska, he's going to kick from about right on the 50, I think. Steps in, kicks that goal, got very close to the mount of the mark, floated the ball nicely. It won't come back far enough and through for a minor score. So he gets his first score of the afternoon. Bannockburn now to 4-5, and a Bellpost on 3-7. We've gone 8 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter scoreboard.
It's not very often a footballer gets caught with holding the ball and he just turns around and says, yeah, that was holding the ball. But Dylan Whitley just did.
Put the hands up.
He just did. He said, yep, all right, you got me. No argument, no whinging, you got me.
Basically to bring the ball in there for Bellpost still. Goes to the far side. Looking out there, but not quite finding Bryans, but he's good enough to get his own ball once it hits the deck. Wrapped up immediately. The umpire says, I'll have it. So I'm
going to make that a stat in my book, I reckon.
What's that?
How many times Bellpost will have kicked it to a player and it's been inches above his head? Happened about a dozen
Love it
times.
wins a tap down to Yates. Yates knocks it on. Punch back the other way by Peters. It's the equivalent of a kick. It's a fantastic tap on. Overrunning the ball now. Picked up by Jones. Jones gets a handball across to Baseley. Baseley looking longer down the ground, forcing teammates to run here. So it's an open ball for anyone. Great kick off the ground by Elzinger, chipping the ball out this way. So
Peters, isn't it?
Peters, sorry. The race is on, and that's probably a free kick there from Whitney, who didn't quite appreciate that one as much as the last one and made it 50. But Nick Peters is the resultant free kick. So looking to drive Bannockburn forward again. Plays on. He's calling for people to come at him. Not a great kick.
Shocker.
Not a great kick at all. And Fantella wasn't paid the mark. Handball's back to McNamara. McNamara's wrapped up straight away. Umpire said knocked out in the tackle. Fantella over it. Ball finally comes free. McNamara trying to kick. Couldn't quite do it. Wraps up in the tackle. Could be a couple of free kicks, but no, not paid. So right on the half-forward line for Bannockburn. We'll have another umpire ball up. So Lovett and Hammond will go at it again. Lovett wins that one down towards Yates again. Couldn't quite take it. Knocked forward by Bannockburn here. Another kick off the ground. Picked up by Elzinger. Feeds a handball out in space. McNamara tries the same way. Goes to Yates. Yates trying to burst through the pack. Didn't happen. Ball falls in the arms of Lovett. Lovett. Clissold picks the ball up now. Handballs away looking for Fantella. Fantella runs through. Bryans tries to get it. The umpires pick the free kick for holding the man. And it will go to Bannockburn. So Beardsall swings around the right foot. Goes long. Looking for Fulton. Fulton pushed under the ball by Flacavento. Well done. But Maher runs straight through. Ball out of his hands. Kunska picks it up. Throws on the right foot. And has kicked his first for the afternoon. So there we go. Josh Kunska gets one. Bannockburn move to 5-5-35. 10 points in front of Bellpost still, who are stagnant on 3-7-25.
Yeah, well, as I said, they had a couple of chances up there and didn't convert. And now Bannockburn are converting and playing some pretty good footy. We spoke to Ronnie Pilgrim before the game. And he said that, young Kunska's just starting to play a real good footy. And I thought, well, here's his chance today because he's going to cop Bowie McNamara. And I thought Bowie was doing okay on him early, but just a couple of nice things. And he really, if he starts to get on top, look out. And Bannockburn are actually looking a lot better right at this particular minute. Looks
like young Alford's got one in the throat, I think. In that passage of play.
And I tell you, while we've got a little bit of time too, if you're in the market for a brand new home, you go and see Fairhaven Homes, because I can tell you now, no one does it better than Fairhaven Homes.
Have they built that house in Echuca for you yet, mate?
It's coming. It's coming.
Just got to buy the land. Ball back in the middle of the ground.
I was hoping they'd give that
This
to me
time
too.
Jimmy Barton doing the ruck work, goes down, picked up there. Sable tries to work his way through the contest. Peters cops one high. Free kick will go to Nick Peters in the middle of the ground. So Peters now with another opportunity to get things forward for Bannockburn. Looking for the options there. One presents now. Ball goes towards Baseley out the back. Zalzinger can run onto it, can take some time. Look up towards goal. Kick back towards goal. And he finishes very, very nicely. His first of the afternoon. Bannockburn now, they're 6. They move to 6-5. They lead Belpo still 3-7. And we have ticked towards 12 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, they're playing footy that we want to see them play. They're playing magnificent footy. I don't know about you blokes, but when you see the young kids who are 16, 17 or whatever playing in this competition, they get the footy and they tend to rush things and just panic a little bit until they get a little bit of experience. This kid picks up the ball and he's as cool, as calm as you like. He just goes bang and kicks it through for a beautiful goal. I don't know whether we can hold him in the GDFL for too long as he gets older, because I think he's a better class than that. But by gee, I hope he stays for a while, because I love watching him play. Well done, young Elzinger.
I think they've got the net at the wrong end, boys.
They can only afford one spot.
Yeah, they should get Shorey and Giles in that to move it every quarter. Get it on the back of the trailer, move it up whichever the way the wind's blowing, even though it's not blowing today.
No, it's not, no. All right, back in the middle now. We have Hammond and Barton going at it. Ball goes up in the air. Hammond wins that one down. Now, in particular, Fantella runs onto it, grabs the ball, but he's wrapped up straight away. Ball going nowhere. Umpire will call for a secondary throw-up just beside the centre circle. So we'll do it all again. Barton and Hammond. Hammond gets front position. Barton moves him out of the way, tries to grab it out of the ruck. Wasn't quite successful. Sable overruns the ball again. Robinson does the same thing. Wrapped up now is Fantella. Ball going nowhere again. So same spot, same result. Ball to be thrown up again. So Barton and Hammond do battle. Barton wins that one down, looking for Yates. Yates gets a quick kick out of the pack. Going forward, Adam Costello dives. Does well, couldn't quite get the full handball on. I think we got wrapped up here, ball comes loose. Players diving in. I think, ball's not going to be balled up. Picked up there by Whitney. Whitney knocks the ball forward, only as far as Spiller.
There's umpire's found a free kick for Belpo still,
I think he's picked a throw, but looking at him grubby at the hands, said Spiller might have thrown the ball out rather than handballing it. So, who have we got here? Is that Flaccavento with the ball? I don't think it is.
No, I reckon it's Miller.
I reckon it is Mitchy Miller. Mitchy Miller's come onto the ground. Yeah, the number 50. There you go, mate. So, Mitch Miller, his first touch for the day, I think. Be a nice one to put through the middle for the Belpo Steel side. Trailing by 10 points. 14 minutes gone so far. Buckley's Entertainment, second sort of scoreboard. Here comes Mitch Miller. Onto the left. He's got the distance there, a problem, but accuracy hasn't actually quite made the distance. Been marked on the line, so Spiller takes the mark on the line. But Bannockburn plays on, goes long down the far side there. Stagard and Kunchka go at it. Stagard gets the ball at the back, swings around the right foot, looking for targets now. Just chopped off beautifully there, but Banno. Ball hits the deck, not going far. Well, here it comes out the back, quick handball out. Falls to Clifton. Clifton handballs out again, wide again down the line by Bannockburn now, looking for Fulton. Fulton just overruns it. Flaccavento at the back, goes in short. Looking for Costello handball, good little handball out there to Dill Whitney. Dill on that left foot, goes long, but over the head of Will Ford and falls in the hands of Bowden. Bowden now driving the ball back from whence it came. Great kick to Kunchka. Kunchka made a great lead up the ground and takes a simple chest mark. So Kunchka just behind centre wing, goes long again, looking for Fulton. Fulton takes the mark. True centre wing here now. Looks to come in the middle. Nice kick there. Well, that's a great pick up there by Elzinger. Elzinger now looking at his options down the ground. Another little short kick looking for Brad Watts. Brad Watts drops where he should have taken. Skoronsky picks it up. He's wrapped up immediately. Umpires paid a free kick for too high. So Tyler Skoronsky will relieve pressure for Belpo. Still does. Goes long down the far wing. Ball heading towards the boundary line. No, picked up. Kicked back down towards a nest of Belpo still players. But a great contest there by Brad Watts. But Dylan Whitney picks up, runs down the wing again. Looking for and finding. It was a great kick. Nick Costello. Costello swings around on the right foot, looking to centre the ball. Hasn't got any sort of advantage, really, has it? So 2-on-1 contest. Andrew's still fighting hard, does the work in the end. Did all the hard work and dropped the ball, left it behind. Wrapped up in a tackle when he does eventually pick it up. The umpire will come in and throw it up.
And what it is I know you get pressure in the game, and Bannockburn's put pressure on them, but all of a sudden there's that perceived pressure.
It is. Lovett wins a tap down. Umpire says free kick here. Going to, I don't know, going to Sable. I didn't see it, mate, I'm honest.
Indicated high.
Okay, there you go. And Sable's kicked the ball down long to Flacavento, who was on his own in the forward pocket. So Jordan Flacavento comes in, looks centre the ball. It's a nice kick looking for Costello, but there's numbers everywhere for Bannockburn. Measures, takes the mark, swings on beautifully straight away. Out wide, I think that's Osborne running down the wing. He's gone long and looking at Hetherington. Had too much on it. Bo Mack drops what he probably normally would have taken. Hetherington picks it up, sells a bit of candy, goes round, goes short, looking for Fulton. That's a fantastic kick. But Kieran Fulton takes the mark. 40-45 out on a fairly tight angle. Has contributed 1 goal, 3 for the afternoon so far. We're out of Bannockburn's 5 goals, 5. We've just ticked over 17 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard. Kieran Fulton with a chance to put Bannockburn 16 points in front. So very deliberate. I don't think the distance will be a problem for him. It's all about the accuracy now. So in comes Fulton. He's looking for the reaction of the players. He likes it. He likes it a lot.
No,
goal umpire
don't
like it at all. So Kieran Fulton, he's fourth behind for the afternoon. Bannockburn 6. They moved to 5-6-36. Leading Bell by still 3-7-25.
I think the boys in the tent over there liked it, but they're on to their 15th can.
Yes,
so
yes.
They got the cans going, so it could have gone anywhere.
18 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
So basically now with the ball. So he's going to come Clubber side, goes towards Yates. He's kicked that nicely out there. Yates, I thought wasn't going to let him down, but the ball did come out in the contest. Gone over the boundary line. So we're going to have a throw-in which will take place just outside Bannockburn's forward 50.
It was a good effort to punch the ball without chopping the arms too.
So thrown back in by the umpire again. Lovett's there. Ball comes out from Lovett. Goes back towards Watts. Picked the ball up. Got the handball out the back. Clifton got the handball further afield to Jervis. Jervis off a step. Goes long back towards the full forward position. Reading that nicely was McNamara. And there's a free kick being given before that. It's going to go to Flacavento. And now it's 15 metres.
I've just got a funny feeling Link Peters might have said something to him. Because he pointed at Link and gave the 50.
That can't be 50 for there, so we're going to say where the umpire was standing. That's all right. That's better. Got his full 50. I was looking at the wrong umpire. I thought he's in trouble here. And the ball goes out wide. Marcus taken out there by Clissold. So Clissold, little left foot boot, goes short. A little bit too much on it. Coming the other way. Went back bravely there, but Beardsville did that nicely. Handball's back inside. Got a running player there in Alford. Just needs to pick the ball up. Looks up, goes short. Hetherington indicated where he wanted it, but Kunziger runs onto the ball once again. The banana, which will not work. And through for a banana score. 6 goals, 7 now to Bannockburn, 3-7 to the Bellpost Hillside. 20 minutes gone, second quarter. Buckley's Entertainment's second quarter scoreboard.
It's strange, isn't it? You kick straight and get yourself in front, and when you get the opportunity to go 2 or 3 or 4 goals in front, you kick points. So the curse is back on the Bannockburn boys.
It's going both ways, mate.
Yeah.
Right, basically to bring the ball in. Plays on, drives it long down the outer side of the ground, looking for Yates. Ball goes over the back. Jones going to run onto it, but the ball beats him over the boundary line. The ball will be thrown back in. Just forward of centre wing for Bannockburn. So they've done the majority of the attacking this quarter and played some very, very good footy. So Lovett and Hammond to do battle. Ball comes in. Lovett just grabs out of the air, gets a handball. The umpire's paid a push, I believe, here. So Hammond will take the resultant free kick. Swings on the left really, really quickly. Goes in short and find Osmond. Osmond plays on straight away. Going along, looking for Fulton. No, Alford come across the front there. Couldn't quite take the mark. Wrapped up straight away there. Ball comes free. I thought the umpire
blew a whistle. Netball umpire.
Anyway, who's kicked that goal out of the middle of nowhere? That was Hetherington again, who now has 4.
Alford, I reckon.
Was it? I just thought they jumped all over Hetherington. Alford directing off the ground. Rightio.
We got a replay here, Jules.
No, we haven't. But we're going to go with Alford. Bailey Alford has his first of the day, 5th for the quarter, and 7th for Bannockburn. Who now 7-7-49 leading Bellpost Hill 3-7-25, and we've gone 21 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
I tell you what, things are looking ominous. They're going to have to really pull something out of the fire and try and pull 1 or 2 back. How long gone?
20 minutes, mate.
So they've got about 8 minutes, if anything, by the first quarter. They need something here.
So back in the middle we go. Lovett this time gets the ball down. Didn't travel too far out there because Hose put his hands on the ball. Ends up in the hands of Jones on centre wing. Got the handball away. Put his team under pressure, but that was nicely done out to the Bryans. Bryans goes wide. Has Barton in some space. Now off a step he goes long. Back in towards their full forward position coming out. Bowden tried to trap it. Couldn't do so. Picked up by Perkins. Handball back into the full forward position. It's going to be picked up now. A little bit of trouble because on the left boot. Grab the body. It is coming around too far. And Mitch Miller has put it through for a minor score.
No, he hasn't.
Hit the behind post, so we'll take that one out. Yep. So good call, Grub.
And you know what? That should have been a goal. Should have been.
Wasn't though.
And again, the perceived pressure, you just kick it quicker than when you really have to. And if he settles down, he kicks that. But it's the perceived pressure's getting to him.
So the ball thrown back in by the umpire, taken out of the ruck contest, picked up out there. Spiller had it, lost it, goes back towards forward, round the body. That won't come back far enough, will it? I tell you what, it's going to be close.
No.
Not quite close enough. So Will Ford with 3 behinds for the afternoon. Bellpost still the 3-8. And Bannockburn on 7-7. And it's going to be Clifton again, bringing the ball back in. We've got a 2-on-1. No, we haven't got a 2-on-2, but Yates is in front of the contest. Did that nicely to Costello. Feeds the ball out, picked up by Henderson. Fed the ball back towards the boundary line. Yates leads in the race for the ball, but the ball will go over. Umpire says let's throw it back in. Just defensive side of centre wing for Bannockburn. Umpire out there will restart play. Ren Lovett back on the ruck duties now. Timmy Barton, I thought he was going to push forward, but ball thrown back in. Lovett down the front of the contest. Bryans kicked the ball. Picked up by Robinson now. Tried to get the handball out the back. Picked up by Bryans once again. Went back into their forward line. Will bounce just inside the field of play. Perkins is happy enough to see it over the boundary line. We will have a throw-in to take place. Probably about 35 to 40 metres around from the behind post. Bell post still attacking end. So Lovett's pushed himself down to do some more ruck work. Umpire's going to recall that.
Do it again.
Another go at that.
I tell you what, I know I laughed when Normie was being fair income, and I had to laugh. In the seconds, a kid from Bannockburn, he grabbed it about 20 metres from the boundary line and ran straight over the boundary line. Everyone started laughing. They paid a free kick. He had to go out the press and got 50.
So the ball picked out there. I think that was Beardsall got boot the ball. Didn't travel that far. Ball goes back towards the boundary line. And again, will be thrown back in right on the forward 50. So a repeat for the umpire out there on the far side. So run 3 or 4 minutes off this last without too much happening. So the ball now thrown back in by the umpire. Goes to Whitney again from that ruck contest. Ground levelled. Yates is over the ball. He gets Lovett now trying to force his way through. Again, the umpire will come in and take possession of the ball. So we've had the couple of ball ins and now a ball up in that same position. So we need to move this ball very quickly. Ball comes out this time. Went to Jones. He was tackled without it. Could have been a free kick.
It was a free kick.
Picked up out there by Jervis, I think it was. Got boot to ball. Went back to the middle of the ground. Picked up there by, had measures. He was knocked off his feet. Link Peters picked that ball up nicely. He got taken off his feet. Picked up by Staggart going back the other way. Robinson in front. Here Mark comes out. Ford didn't take it up, but I tell you what, Costello did, and he kicks his first goal of the afternoon, and that was Adam. And they kicked their 4th goal of the afternoon. They moved to 4 goals 8. Bellpost still. They trail Bannockburn on 7-7. 24 and a half gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter scoreboard.
Well, that's what I've been asking Bellpost Hill to do for a while. Ford's, you can't say he's getting beaten in the air. What happens is he goes up on 2 blokes, and it's almost impossible to mark. And before that, the ball was just bouncing and going in here, and Bannockburn were clearing. When that's happening, Bellpost Hill have to have someone on the ground for the crumbs. Front and centre, that's exactly what that boy did and kicked the goal they badly need.
So Lovett and Hammond go out. Lovett wins it down to Yates. Yates went to handball to Fantella. Didn't quite come off. Picked up by Watts. Watts gets it out to Robinson. Robinson on the left foot looking for Connor Jervis. Ball beats them all over the line, and we'll have a boundary line throw in. Right in front of the Bannockburn coach's box. So Lovett and Hammond, as they've done for most of the day, about to go at it again. Lovett just pushes him out of the way, taps the ball towards Whitney. Peters gets in the way. Lovett picks the ball up, goes out to Sable. Then Link Peters wins the ball, gets a handball out to Robinson, on to Watts. Watts goes long down the line. He's going to stay in play. We have coming across there was Cubby basically trying to mark the ball, but all he did was knock it over the line. So under the boundary line throw in, about 55 around from the Bannockburn goal. As I said, done most of the attacking so far this quarter. 2 rucks going at it again now. Lovett wins that one down. Peters knocks it for his own advantage, runs onto it now. Handball back to Jervis. Jervis on the right foot, just pops it up into the hot spot. Very clever kick. Coming at it, basically knocks it away. Whitney can't pick the ball up. Diving on now, Whitney gets a handball over the top to Sable. Sable looking down the line. He's got Yates here, but Robinson coming over the back. Yates just too strong. Either a free kick or a mark.
He went a bit early, Robbo.
Might have gone, yes, a little bit early, mate. So Jack Yates with the ball now. Goes short to Sable. Sable takes the mark just in front of Brad Watts. Jordan Sable looking at his options. Thought about going short back to Yates. Ignores that. Goes to Wren. Goes over his head. Falls in the arms of Hammond. So now Hammond, true centre wing. On the left foot. Kicks it long. Looking for Fulton. It's a great kick to space. Ball comes to the ground. Kush gets the handball out. Picked up. Fulton knocks it out again. Picked up there by Marr. Marr gets the ball to Whitney. Whitney to Costello. Costello goes long. Looking for Flaccavento. Flies. Great ball at the back there. Picked up by Henderson. Henderson goes across to Spiller. Spiller looking at his options down the line. He's got one in Dan Measures. He's got plenty of time now. Picks the ball up. Goes down the line. Looking for Elzinger. Elzinger takes the mark. Plays on straight away. Looks for Fulton. And that's a great kick. What a great passage to play, Grubby.
Corio Bay Health. Player of the day contender. That magnificent football. Bannockburn Tigers.
That is just really good play. Transition was fantastic, wasn't it?
And the kicking was just spot on.
They just broke and ran. So Kieran Fulton, his sixth shot on goal for the day.
Well, I think it was from old to young to old.
It was,
well, maybe not so old, Kieran Fulton, but Measures to the young fella. It was just beautiful footy.
Well, we can't really call him an old, mate, because they're all young. Anyway, Kieran Fulton comes in now. Kicks the ball. Goal umpire likes a look at that one. The boys
they don't like it. They don't like it, the umpire.
Another one. 1 goal 5 to Kieran
post,
Fulton.
mate.
There. Hit the post. I was getting excited about that one. Anyway, 7-8-50 now to Bannockburn, leading Belpo still 4-8-32. Basically about to bring the ball in. We've gone 28 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard. So Basely comes long down the line. Looking for Andrews. Andrews flies, positions himself. Great score by heading to the back there to neutralise the contest. And down she goes. I don't know who's on and off the ground. They're all just running around each other.
I'd hate to be doing the magnetic board
Oh,
both sides.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, you wouldn't know what to do.
The ball comes in now. Lovett and Hammond go at it. Lovett wins that one down. In front of Fantella, but Henderson's right at his hammer. Watts picks the ball up. Sable trying to steal off him. Brad trying to break through here. Hasn't done so. Umpire said it's mine. Watts ended up being wrapped up in the Dylan Whitney tackle there. Couldn't evade that. So we got Lovett and Hammond going at it right in front of the commentary box. Lovett wins that one. But that was sharked by Hose. Hose kicks the ball back into the forward line for Bannockburn. Picked up by Kunchka. Gets the handball across. Alfred just couldn't quite get enough on that one. Sable knocks it forward again. Picked up there again by Hose, who finds Robinson. Robinson tries to measure the kick to Fulton, but Flaccavento done a fantastic job in front. Takes a strong mark, relieving mark in the last line of defence for Belpo still. Goes short to Dill Whitney. Whitney looking to play on straight away onto the left foot. Probably had Kerins there, but decided to go long out here looking in the Yates, Andrews and Lovett direction. Picks the ball over the top here quickly by Alfred. Loses the boot in the process. Dylan Whitney taps the ball over to Flaccavento. Picks the ball up, goes back to Basely. Basically left with no option but to run the ball through for a rush behind to Bannockburn. So they go to 7-9-51, leading Belpo still 4-8-32. 30 minutes nearly gone. Buckley's in the second quarter scoreboard. Basically comes out and finds Yates, takes a strong mark there in front of Hose. Looking to move the ball on quickly. Can't be too long to go.
Scores a level out at the Mausoleum.
At the Mausoleum, that's what I called it.
I know.
Instead of the Coliseum. Anyway, ball coming out right in front of the commentary box.
Just while you're doing that, Giants 49, Corio 28, Winchelsea 32, East 34, Anarchy 27, Inverleigh 89, and Thompson 39, Werribee 39, North Geelong 38, Belmont 41. So we've got some cliffhangers all over the league today.
We have.
Apparently number 9 from Winch is on fire.
Number 9 from Winch is on fire. Okay, there we go. So Lovett wins the ball down.
Be Tav.
It'll be Tav Sawney. That's who it is. It is. He's the number 9.
Has to be.
So
Great
the ball
player,
up again.
Tav.
Lovett wins it down again, but only as far as Robinson, who feeds through the handball. It gets it over to Osborne. Quick kick there by Peters. Looking forward. Bryans overruns it. Elzingo does the same. Falls to Sable. Sable gets the handball out. Or actually well and truly too high, I think. That was a rather crude and clumsy tackle. So James Hose had the ball, but that's a siren. So half-time here at Bannockburn sees the home side 7-9-51, leading Bellpost still 4-8-32. Dale, we got some goal kickers, mate.
Yeah, goal kickers for the home side, and at half-time, Cal Hetherington has three, one each to Alford, Fulton, Elzinga and Kunchka, and the 4 for the Bellpost Hill side, 2 to Andrews, 1 to Costello Adam, and 1 to Costello Nick. So we'll take a short break, come back. Everything's happening here, and around the leagues, we'll have some half-time scores for you all. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
And we are back here at Victoria Park, Bannockburn. You're right, Steelo, 14 degrees, mate. It feels like about -7. Bit of cloud cover. bit of cloud cover here, but still not a lot of wind around. A beautiful day for footy. So the score currently sees the home side Bannockburn at 7-9-51, leading Bellpost Hill 4-8-32. The reserves, obviously we didn't get to read the scores yet. So in Bannockburn 16-8-104, defeat Bellpost Hill 8-5-53. So a very entertaining and interesting first half of footy. Some very good passages of play, Dale. It was really good.
There's been some ebbs and flows in this game, Spider, and I reckon it's going to continue. But as I said, both sides probably not kicking as well as they would like, because early in the game, Bellpost Hill had a number of opportunities to really stretch the margin, and then Bannockburn in that second quarter, pretty much the same. They kicked 5 goals, 6 in that second quarter, which would probably see them quite comfortably if that had been a couple more goals down the track. But they do lead, and they have played some good football. I reckon the game they play will be suited to St Albans. I know we talk about that later on the year, their mobility and being able to move the ball so quickly from one end of the ground to the other, and clean disposal. I think that's been the key to their success. And as I said, coming the other way, Bellpost Hill, we know they've got some experience here. They're going to be right in this game, and if Bannockburn think their job is done, they've got another thing coming. So it's a big task for them, but we just need to make sure that they continue in their current form, and if they can do that, then they win the game. But Bellpost Hill, I reckon, we've spoken about forward up forward. That's not the way to start things off, is it? But look, he's had a couple of opportunities. We still haven't seen Timmy Barton get himself involved in the forward role. Now, I'm not too sure whether the ball's bypassing or the kicks aren't going to him, but I reckon if he can get himself involved in this game of football, he's the type of bloke that can kick 2 or 3 on end. We know that their goal kickers at the moment is Andrews, and he often kicks goals for them. Their avenues other than that, the 2 Costello boys have got 1 each. They probably just need to find another player that can actually just get a little bit dangerous down there. Now, Basely's a bloke. I know he plays well off a half-back line, but he can go forward and can be pretty elusive in that area and can probably find a couple of goals for himself. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there, but they've got the work ahead of them, and if there's a team that can do it, this is one of them.
All right, we'll throw back to the studio and get the promo for the Lifeline third quarter.
Greatest load of rubbish I've ever heard.
I was trying to watch me race.
Rightio, Grub, what are your thoughts of... Whoop, got it twice. Lifeline third quarter action about to start here. You can't remember. You cannot do it alone, Grub.
You cannot do it alone. I'll tell you what, Johnny Mitchell rang me last night just to tell me that Bannockburn were no good. So I tell you, that's going to go in their favour, because whatever Johnny says, he's always wrong. He reckons they weren't much good, but I tell you what, you were right, you blokes. On St Albans, I think they'll be a lot better side. But that quarter there was the best quarter of football I've seen pretty much from any side most of the year. So that proves they've got it in them. Can they keep going? We're going to find out right now.
So umpire has put the ball in the air and the siren has sounded. Mooch Hammond in there doing the ruck work. Rennie Lovett over the top. This time ball comes towards Yates. Yates to Sable. Sable on the left boot. Drifts the ball towards Flacavando. Bad bounce out the back. Bowden came at it. Couldn't take clean possession. Went after it on ground level. Tapped the ball out. Picked up there by Peters. He's tackled. Oh, gee, where was the prior opportunity there?
There was no prior opportunity there whatsoever.
No, I didn't think so either. So the ball to Flacavando into the hands of Basely. Basely long back into their forward line. Bowden did that nicely, and that has been a good little marking effort there over the top of forward. So Bowden now to transfer play or come back towards the clubroom side over the back of the pack. Kunchka wasn't behind, but Yates strong in front. Well, he did take a step. Umpire said no, just settle down. And so Jack Yates now has done that. He's looking for some options, someone to come at him. Costello was the first, but decides to go long, back towards forward in the forward square. But again, out the back, Bowden read that nicely, takes another mark and transfers play across the ground. Player out there is Henderson. He's got a player further down the ground, so they go short over the top. Clifton in some to space, and he will settle things down. Good use of the ball, isn't he, Grubb? So we'll just moz him now, and he'll turn the ball over right as we do. So Clifton now goes back towards centre wing.
And he does.
With ball, actually, big Rennie Lovett got his hand in there. Jeez, he's a big workhorse, the big fellow, I tell you. And they've done well by getting him back to the club. So
poor old Rob will be horrified. He had a guest in on the radio in Keith this morning. Unbelievable. 18 people live there and 15 are out milking cows.
So the ball thrown back in and centre wing. Lovett doing the ruck work. This time maybe Hammond had the first touch at it, but Yates tries to burst his way through. He won't get through there. And the ball will be handed straight back to the umpire. Actually, it wasn't that player either. It was Gronski that was trying to force his way through. Again, Lovett goes by foot and comes out the back. Picked up out there and cleared away this time by Hose. Ball back in towards the Kunchka at centre half forward. Handballs outside to Osborne. Set him up in some space. Looks forward. That's a great kick going forward. Flacavento did nicely. Able to spoil the ball. Went back and collected it. Now he's got some time and some space. Looked up. Finds Ma in some space also. Sable. Little kick back into the middle. That was dangerous because Peters was there, but Yates did that nicely. He takes the mark and then we'll send a player out wide. Flacavento into some space by himself. Got a bad bounce again. Baseley's right with him, but Flacavento didn't move his ground. Did nice. He got a ball back to Baseley. He looks up. Where are his options? Back inside. He's going towards Costello. He will find him. Ball went past him. Picked up there by Clifton. He goes sideways, and the mark has been taken out there by Henderson. Henderson again off a step. Goes looking towards Hammond. Can't get to the ball. We'll go back and collect it. Love it. Strong. The big fella. I tell you what, he's moving very nicely around the ground, the big fella.
Was a good tackle.
So Rennie Lovett now handballs the back out that goes towards Skoronski, I think it was. Go back inside to Fantella. Fantella has a running player, and they use that player in Sable. He goes quickly into their forward line, out in front of Andrews. Ball bounces. He leaves it behind. Picked up there by Spiller. He was taken over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in, which will take place. So 3 minutes into the third quarter. It is Bannockburn 7-9. Bell Post Hill 4 goals 8.
What a tackle.
A lot of their kicks are just falling short of their teammates, aren't they? They've got to be a bit more precise like they normally are.
Yeah, they need wind.
They need wind and rain. So Barton takes the ball out of the ruck, gets a handball over the top towards Fantella. Fantella picks the ball up, but runs out of room. We'll have another boundary line thrown about 3 metres round from where the last one was. We have to say that's got to be one of the players of the day, that tackle by Big Ren, doesn't it?
That was massive.
And that, of course, that is the Corio Bay Health player of the day.
That's what I was looking for, mate. So Barton and Hammond takes front spot, punches the ball back towards the boundary line. Flacavento runs onto it. Good the shepherd there from Costello. Flacavento fights, gets the ball back, tackled and taken over the line. So right in front of the bell post, still coach's box in the scoreboard here at Bannockburn. We've gone nearly 4 minutes. Lifeline, third quarter. Remember, you cannot do it alone. So Lovett and Hammond to do battle here. Bound umpire gets the ball back in nicely. Lovett with the left mitt, wins that one down. Costello tries to kick it off the ground, not successful. Brian's on top of the ball here. Ball going absolutely nowhere. Link Peters wrapped up. He's not going to let the ball go at any stage. Probably run a don't argue or two in there as well. Will Link. But umpire coming now to ball the ball up. Lovett over the top. Taps the ball down, but swooped on by Measures. He was tackled, he's got rid of it. Hose has the ball now, trying to get rid of it. Finally ball falls out. Onto the ground still. Picked up by Kerins. Kerins gets a handball away, chopped off by Peters. Umpire say we're going nowhere at all. So, well, hang on, what do we got here?
Well, if Link Peters wants to attack Timmy Barton, he's sillier than I thought he was.
He was after his brother.
So, free kick here to Bannockburn. Peters comes in short, looking for Kunchka. It's gone over the top, and Hose dives on it, picks the ball up. Umpire's looking around, saying, make an attempt. He said there's no attempt, so that's no advantage. So anyway, Measures wins the ball back, goes to Bryans. Bryans throws on the boot. Belpo still players stuck behind. Robinson takes a good mark on his chest in front of Andrews. So relieving mark, about 20 metres out from his own goal. Robinson goes low on the left, looking for Fulton coming over the back. Ball comes to ground. Hose rows it beautifully. Just looking for options. Nice little clever handball through there. Well done to Kunchka. Kunchka swings the ball on the right foot. McNamara, well, that's going to be a mark if someone takes this.
It will.
And Peters has taken the mark. Stood his ground firmly. Link Peters. So he's gone wide out looking for Kunchka. Finds him in plenty of space. Gives a handball back to Osborne. Osborne runs through. Looking long down the goal square for, is that Hammond that's flying over the back? I reckon he's about taking that mark too. What a fantastic grab that was.
Just for the AFL listeners too, I just looked at the AFL Live. Hawthorn 81, Richmond 49 with the third quarter.
We're a good side, the Tigers. So, thanks for that, mate. Just ruined me day.
I think your whole year's been ruined.
Oh, that got ruined a long time ago. Anyway, Hammond has taken a fantastic grab. 20 metres out.
Now there's a free kick being turned over now.
Oh.
Who did that?
Peters.
Who do you think? So, the ball has been taken 20 metres out from goal, having a shot, to now being in the hands of Nick Costello inside the centre square. So he chips the ball across, finds Ma almost on the cricket pitch there. He goes further across and finds Bryans. Bryans now looking at options up, goes out wider again. Yates out there. Oh, Skoronski. You'll be able to tell by the left foot.
Yeah, definitely Skronsky.
Yeah, so Skronsky now is played on, coming across the ground, looking for and finding Flaccavento of the Jordan variety. So Jordan Flaccavento will now have a shot from goal, 40 out, when Bannockburn should have had a shot for goal from 20 metres out less than a minute ago.
You know, Link used to do that a fair bit, and he got it out of his game for a couple of years. So he's just got to settle down and not do things to the disadvantage of his club. He has to do that, otherwise they could get beat by stupid little things like that.
Okay, Flaccavento comes in now, kicking from 45. Looks pretty good off the boot. The goal umpire has not moved, so that has cost him a goal. Jordan Flaccavento has his first for the day. Bellpost will get the first of the third quarter. That sees them go to 5-8-38, trailing Bannockburn 7-9-51, and we have gone 7.5 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, look, geez, Link, as I said, he'd got it out of his game and been a bit of an asset to his game, but geez, that's just cost him. It's a 12-point turnaround, a possible 12-point turnaround there, and they've got to he's really got to settle down and just play football. And as you said, Lifeline 1-3-1-1-1-4.
So back in the middle we go again. Lovett gets the ball down and goes to Yates and puts the boot on his foot, goes into their half-forward line. Ball goes back towards now, picked up by Watts, handball's out, picked up there by Beardsall, out goes wide to Measures now on the left boot, goes into their half-forward line, coming out, Fulton in front, and he takes the mark, so Fulton now just looking to get on with the game. Flaccavento still got hold of him, now he's going to get 50, so one a little stupid play, and that was probably just the same, and he will go back to pretty much right on the goal line, and kick from the goal square, which will even things up for the quarter.
Well, I tell you what, if he puts his boot on his foot this time, it'll go straight through the middle.
Well, he will. Well, he hasn't been kicking well, the big fella, so far this game. One goal, 5.
He'll kick this one, don't worry.
He'll kick it, but will he kick a goal? I'll tell you what, only
he's
just.
used every bit of it.
He got his second of the afternoon and the 8th for Bannockburn. They are 8-9. They lead at Bellpost Hill on 5 goals, 8. Almost 9 minutes gone. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
I was going to say, just in the start of the quarter, it's been a tough game, uncompromising, but fair, no silly things. All of a sudden, 2 silly things, and results in 2 goals. So at least they get that one back, Bannockburn. That'll make Peters feel a little bit better. But as I say, it's still a great game to watch. This is one of the most entertaining games I've seen for the year.
Ball back in the middle now, Lovett and Hammond. Lovett wins that one down. Looking for Whitney. Whitney overruns the ball. Hose does the same. Ball in the middle now. Beardsall fighting for it, trying to get it out. Yates picks it up and tries to shrug everyone out of his way. Will almost be pinfall on the ball, not quite. Whitney fights through, knocks it forward, but it's cut off by Speller, who goes across to Watts. Watts going down the line looking for Elzinger. Goes over his head, and then Chris Hulls as well. But Elzinger is quick first to recover. Looking long for his options. Not a great kick off the boot. Bo McNamara's picked it up, though. Didn't really try to take him on. Great tackle there by Hetherington. Ball spills free. Handball over the top there. Now looking for finding a teammate. Bellpost still. Marr chips the ball over across towards Jones. It's a great, clever little kick. Jones takes the mark just on defensive 50 for Bellpost still. So Zane Jones now looking at his options down the ground. Will Ford a long way up, so he heads in that general direction. Well, Barton as well. Barton uses his strength, can't complete the mark. The ball's knocked out of bounds. True centre wing, far side of the ground here at Bannockburn. As I said, the home side leading by 19 points.
You know, Bo McNamara's experience, he saw the umpire and he give a bloke a chance to try and get it out. As soon as he gets tackled, he pretends to punch the ball. The umpire's going to let that go every time.
Absolutely. So Lovett just pushes Hammond out of the way. Goes a big tap, but there's no one there. Hose picks it up, swings on the right foot. Goes short and finds Peters. Peters handballs the ball across. Back to Hose. Hose comes out wide here to Henderson. Henderson, what a great kick out in front there. That's a fantastic kick by Henderson. Strong mark taken there. Is that Hetherington again?
Yep.
So he's going back. This time we go for his 4th, mate. We'll get the right play. I'll get the right play this time.
This is the same thing as that we looked at the other day with Hetherington being able to play more forward and Hammond doing the ruck work. So while Hammond's doing it and competing, gives them another string to their bow down forward.
Well, doesn't it? It frees Fulton up too.
Yeah.
And you got 2 targets.
This is exactly what Benny Cole did from last year.
Exactly right. So Hetherington comes in now, kicking from about 40. Hits the boot. It's just fading across to the left on the breeze that has sort of picked up a little bit. So Hetherington's first blemish for his copybook for the afternoon. But takes Bannockburn to 8-10-58, leading Bellpost still 5-8-38. We've gone 11.5. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
Looks like Keren's doing the kicking in, is it?
Yeah, the blue boots.
Yep, so he's got the ball now and he decides to play on. He Transfers the ball pretty much straight up the ground. Spoil from behind was effective. Comes to the front of the contest. Picked up there. Cleared away. Watts runs inside 50. Lines up. Goes long back towards goal. But he is offline. And through for another minor score. So 8-11 now to Bannockburn. 5-8 to the Belpost Hill Panthers. And we've gone almost 12. So Kerins again the kicking in duties once again. He decides to go a little bit wider this time. Out wide. Bath there. Ball gets out the back. Picked up out there nicely by Whitney. Ran the contest. But unfortunately for himself, ran out of bounds, and we will have a throw-in which will take place just forward of centre wing.
Geez, you'd have loved that one. What's he wouldn't in his 250th?
Yeah.
He would. The crowd would have went wild, I reckon. And
The tent would have gone mad.
And rightly so.
So the ball thrown back in now by the umpire. Again, ball is tapped out only as far as Robinson. Got the handball away. Went between his legs, and umpire this time will have no choice but to ball it up, you would think.
And Connor Jervy's lost a tooth in the second quarter, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, does he get $5 for the tooth fairy?
I don't know if he's lucky. 10 if he's a bonus. Picked up there by Peters. He was taken high and a recipient of a free kick. So Peters now spins around, goes quickly back into their forward line. Kunzu came out, couldn't take the mark. Picked up there. Whitney handballs over the top. Went looking for Skronski. Spiller's with him. Skronski's still got his head over the ball. Goes out wide to Baseley. His teammate tried to take it out of his hands. It didn't pick it up cleanly. Again, now it comes outside the pack. Spiller just boots the ball. And he goes into their half-forward line. Clissold leads in the race for the ball. Picks the ball up, puts it down again. Has worked hard in there. Picked up and out. The back comes Fulton. Handballs over the top. Not too sure where he's going, but went to Staggard. Staggard went to his teammate and Sable. He put the ball down. Again, there's a lot of pressure happening down there in their forward line. Umpire comes in and he takes possession of the ball about 25 out from the Bannockburn goal. So it'll be thrown now up by the umpire once again. Again, this ball taps clear of the contest, wider again, out towards Alford. He tries to bring the ball back, only as far as Elzinger, taps it back to the goal square. That was nice play. Needs someone there in support, picked up there by Hetherington. He's tackled, no prior opportunity there. Umpire says, let's have it again. We will ball it up this time. The other side of the centre circle, the goal square, still about 25 out.
Geez, he tapped that back into a real dangerous spot, didn't he?
Yep.
There's two rippers in a row, Grub.
So this time, ruck contest comes... ball comes to ground, coming out of the contest. There's a free kick being given. It's going to go to Timmy Barton. So Barton now, the recipient, deep in defence. So he's going to look at where he's going to go. Nothing moving for him at this present time, so he goes short into the pocket. Baseley is out there by himself. Takes the mark. Comes back inside. I thought he's kicking to the umpire then. Did nicely. Mark is taken out there by Kerins. Goes across to Flacavento. So they start to run the ball now. Bit further afield. Goes to McNamara. Still on the half-back line. He chips back inside. Kick wasn't good. Went over the top. Goes back towards Hammond. He came through the contest. Barton strength. Picks the ball up. Got the handball back to Kerins. Lost possession of it. Ball comes out in the contest. Goes towards Peters. Picks the ball up. He's tackled. Can't get rid of the ball. Brought to ground. Umpire in. Another ball that will take place in the forward half for Bannockburn. And to right on the centre half forward position. Ball is thrown up quickly by the umpire. Barton taps the ball out, goes out towards Robinson. He can't pick the ball up. Tapped there by Jones, kicked off the ground, tries to go after the ball himself. Left it behind, picked up by Robinson, chips the ball back inside. Bit too strong on the kick, goes back. Baseley, he overran the ball. It's kept alive out there. I'm not too sure who that was. May have been Beardsall, who kicked the ball back towards the square. And it's now run over the boundary line and will be thrown in. So we go over 15 minutes in the Lifeline third quarter scoreboard. It is Bannockburn 8-11. They lead Belpost Hill 5-8.
Around the grounds, East Long 40, Winch 34, Giants 49, Corio 28, Inverleigh 100, Anarchy 28. This game, of course, Thompson 53, Werribee 51, Belmont 49, North Geelong 47. Ball back in play, coming out the side of the ground, picked up there by Osborne, takes on Skronski, gets around, now looks somewhere in the middle, big leading up. Ball comes to ground, pack flies, Clissold gets a quick handball out. Trying to burst through the pack there unsuccessfully. Picked up there by Ryan Bowden. Turns the handball over to Staggard. Staggard just kicks the ball down the line in hope. Costello runs onto it. He's wrapped up by Spiller immediately. Knocks the ball out. Sort of knocked it out. Hammond's picked it up. Looks the handball across there for Bowden. Doesn't quite come off. Robinson picks the ball up. Goes to the other Bowden now. And Bowden goes very, very wide to Beardsall. Beardsall now plays on immediately. Running down the line is Peters, whose second bounce wasn't quite as pretty as his first, but he's got plenty of time to recover. Goes long, looking for Fulton. The front of the pack there. So that Elzinger's taking that grab. What a fantastic mark. Just stood his ground, didn't he?
Yep. Stood his ground, didn't worry about what was coming behind him. Knew he could take the mark. Was in the middle of the pack, but he was at the front of it, and he was just a bit cleverer than the rest.
Had some big boys coming down over him, didn't he? So Liam Elzinga has won for the afternoon. So kicks this, the margin starts to really blow out, doesn't it? So
how many times have you seen that today?
I don't know.
The bloke comes off the ground and Ronnie goes up and gives him a hug.
I like it. Anyway, Elzinga comes in and has pulled that one to the left. So the Bannockburn crawl on 8-12-60. Leading Belpo still 5-8-38. We've gone 17 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
Nothing better from a player. Nothing better from a player to see a bit of little love for the coach.
I think it's fantastic. Basically, he's coming in going short to Kerins. Kerins takes the mark about 20 out. Decides to transfer play coming out here. Looking for and finding Adam Costello. Costello comes down the line even further, looking for Skronsky, takes the mark in front of Henderson.
They've done this a few times, but they run out of space and people to kick it to.
So Skronsky comes down the line, Yates is there, but Bowden comes across, double fist, puts it out into the street. Over the club rooms, great fist, killed the contest. So, with a boundary line throw in here, just forward to centre for Bannockburn. Again, nearly 18 minutes ticked over, Lifeline third quarter scoreboard. That was Barton and Hammond to do battle, so ball thrown in now. Hammond was the front, Barton strength tries to tap it over the back. Secondary tap by Hammond, picked up by Yates, who tries to barge his way through. Ball gets spilt free. Hose wrapped up, not going anywhere. So the umpire has no choice but come in and ball it up again. So Barton and Hammond go at it. Barton wins his tap down clear to Yates. Yates kick smothered. I don't think it was intentional by Beardsall, but he did it anyway. I think Peters tried to kick it. It doesn't go anywhere. Barton handballs the ball long. Robinson breaks the tackle of Fantella. Runs through, finds a bit of space. Looking up, going long. Contest there. Elzinga's there. Ends up with the ball. Quick kick forward again. So Bannockburn into attack again. Hetherington overruns the ball. Coming through was Costello. Tackles straight away. Quick handball out. Beardsall goes across there. And Osborne runs into an open goal and puts it straight over the goal umpire's head to see Bannockburn second for the quarter. They're ninth for the game. They got a 9-12-66. Leading Belpo still 5-8-38. We've gone 19 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
You know, in the first half, look, they had some great bits of play, Bannockburn, but I thought they were getting beaten around the stoppages. But all of a sudden, they're coming out of the stoppages. I don't know how young Liam Elzinga got that footy, but I think it was because he kept his eye on the footy. And it come back to him, they got it out, and they're starting to win around the stoppages now. So, and if that's the case, it's a little bit ominous. I think they could go away for a nice victory.
So back on the umpire in the middle, the ball is thrown in the air. This time Hammond over the top, brings the ball back to ground. Running onto the ball there is Hose. Tried to keep it in front of himself, but basically came in, got the handball over the top, went towards Ford, tried to barge his way through, went back towards Robinson of Bannockburn, goes back into the middle of the ground, and Osborne takes the mark. Runner outside is Spiller, decides to go straight up the ground. Leading player was Alford, went over the top, went towards Kunchka on hands and knees, has to tap the ball out. Yates dives on top of it, does come out into the hands of Hammond. Hammond further goes to Alford. Alford inside 50, takes him on, handballs over the top. Peters looks for his options, goes to Fulton. A little bit of pressure now, kicks round the body. Has he got enough swing on the ball? No, it's going to be touched on the line. Actually, it hasn't gone through yet. Comes back towards Fantella. Picked up there, cleared away. Kieran's over the top, goes to Flaccavento, back to Fantella. Over the top to Basely. Little bit of time, steps inside, looks up. Kick wasn't great. Hasn't got the effect. Picked up by Henderson. He puts the handball back in towards Hammond. Over the top it runs. Coming onto the ball now with Spiller. Goes back. Hammond had it again. Got the handball out the back. Went to Hose once again, so they bring the ball back. Outside now. Hetherington leads in the race of the ball. McNamara had it and kept the ball in front of himself. Goes back towards the boundary line, and we'll be happy to see it over and slow things down. The ball just outside there, forward 50. We're talking Bannockburn. Back in attack once again. Hammond over there to do the ruck work. Also Lovett. So thrown back in by the umpire. Lovett taking the position, taps the ball down, goes as far as Robinson, wants to get on his left boot, got through traffic, handballs back inside to Osborne. He goes back inside the forward 50, mark not taken there. Ball comes to ground, Jones and Elzinga. Jones did nicely. Actually, it was... wasn't Jones, it was Andrews, I think it was. Yes. Now, there's been a hold-up of play there because there was a good, strong tackle. Ball didn't come out. Umpire in very quick, so about 40 metres out from goal. 40 metres from the Bannockburn goal. Throw up to take place quickly. Umpire over the top. Lovett taps the ball down. Went to Jones this time. Bright boots. Kicked the ball pretty much straight across the ground. Races on now. Leading in the race for the ball is Zalzinger. Clean pick up. Left the ball, though, behind. Now went back and collected it again. Stepped inside. Looks up. Got at his options. Went towards Hetherington. Ball gets out the back. Picked up out there. It was Bryans. Had the ball. Little boot to ball. Only as far as Yates. He puts his head down. Tries to work his way through the contest as he does every time. Andrews on again on the left boot. Comes back towards our half-forward line. And standing there is the big fella in Bowden. Goes back inside, went looking towards Alzinger. Ball gets through the contest, tap back inside the centre square. This time it's Spiller. He just loads up and goes back towards the goal square. Has it got the carry? No, it hasn't. Basically says, I'll just tap it through. Minor score.
They just can't get it out of there.
9-13, Bannockburn 5-8 to the Belpost Hillside. 22 gone. Lifeline, the third quarter scoreboard.
Basically brings the ball in quickly, chips it out towards Sable. Sable now looking at his options down the line. Goes long, looking for Jones. Jones flies, ball comes to ground. Bannockburn everywhere here, so Bath is at, pick the ball up, couldn't quite pick the ball up, takes it out of bounds. So we'll have a boundary line throw in true centre wing. Probably the most advanced Belpost still been for a while, Grub.
Well, it is. Look, Bannockburn's second quarter was magnificent, but this quarter's just as good because they're not letting Belpost Hill out. They've got all angles covered.
So Lovett wins the tap down, goes as far as Fantella. Fantella gets it back to Lovett, who goes up and high and long. No one wanted to mark it, tried to tap it forward. Spiller knocks the ball forward for Bannockburn. Ball's getting through now, dribble down along the line. Basically runs onto it, wrapped up in a couple of tackles. That might be dropping the ball, I think, and that's what the umpire has seen it. So the pressure here by Bannockburn is absolutely outstanding. So looking to drive it forward. It's a nice little kick into the hot spot there. Kunski's got a free fly. It gets one hand of the ball. Probably should have gone with two and maybe marked it. Fulton handballs ball over the top, but only as far as Bryans. Bryans gets it across to Baseley now. Belpost still running at our defence. Goes to Ford. Ford to Kerins. Kerins retreats back and gives it to Ren Lovett, who just sinks a slipper into it, kicking as far as he can. Almost a great one-hander mark by Marvin. Not done. Peters picks ball, gives out to Hose. The Hose got options. Great smother there. Was that by Yates? Yates back to Hose though now, running through. No one going at him, just cut through the pack. Bowden has it now, turns around, sizes up his options. That's a great looking kick there to Hammond. What a fantastic kick. Hammond plays on straight away, handballs over to Peters. Peters looks to chip one over the top to Alford, too much on it. Kunchka's at front and centre, picks the ball up, has a flying shot at goal and has put it out of bounds on the full. First one for the day.
Yes, could be. Spied.
24 minutes, Lifeline. Third quarter scoreboard here. Bannockburn in control of this game. 29 points up. Flacabento plays on, goes long down the line. Who's there? There's nothing. Bannockburn plays very well. But anyway, picked up was by Andrews, but ran out of space.
That's happened now.
Yep.
They look like they're going to get it out, and the boundary umpires says, give it back to me, son.
Someone's pushing the white line in, Grub.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lovett and Hammond to do battle again. Ball comes in. Lovett at the back. I think Hammond might have won that one over the back. Ball spills free. That Henderson with the ball now, wrapped up straight away, brought to ground. So the central umpire will come and take control and we'll have a ball up just forward of centre for Bannockburn. Ruckman go at it. Lovett wins that one down towards Fantella. Fantella taps the ball on cleverly to Jones. Jones looking for Costello. Ball bounces in front and just runs out of room again. You're right, Grub. Their kicking's just been off, hasn't it?
It has, and I'll tell you another worrying thing. Ren Lovett's dominated the ruck. He's won every tap out and it has had no bearing whatsoever on the game at all.
No, it hasn't. So here we go again. Lovett wins that one again. Ball's kicked out there. Quickly forward finds Costello, gets a handball across to Bryans. Bryans looks up, going for Costello Nick, but he's beaten pointedly by Dan Measures. He takes a strong mark deep in defence. He comes across to Perkins, who's got as much room as he wants to play on and run down the line. Looking for Elzinger long. And Elzinger takes a fantastic grab right in front of Andrews there. Elzinger goes forward, looking for Kunchka, goes over his head, doesn't matter. Hammond runs around, picks up. Look at this.
Look at that.
Kieran Fulton. I think Nick Bento fell over at the time, and
he slipped over and gave 3 metres, but he was 8 metres behind anyway. I don't think it was going to matter. It was a great kick.
The ball has landed in the hands of Kieran Fulton, who will be kicking from just inside the 50-metre line here. So, looking for his third for the day. 8th shot on goal. You know, we talk about kicking straight. So, Kieran Fulton now coming in. Hits the 50-metre line now. Seems to be in. Actually looks really good off the boot. You won't get a lot better than that, mate, from your full forward. That's Kieran Fulton's third for the afternoon. That is the 10th for Bannockburn. They go to 10-13-73, leading Belpo still 5-8-38. We've gone 26 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
I can't for the life of me see how Belpo still get out of this. They just don't get the ball out of the centre, even though they're winning every tap out. It gets into that Bannockburn half forward line, and it don't come out. It's come back to the wing, I think, once into the forward line, and when that did, the Bannockburn defence cleared it easily.
Yeah, the ability to be able to put pressure and hold it in there has been good, Grub, as you said. Yates this time gets the ball out over the top to Clissold. Clissold, a little left foot dab, goes looking for Barton, wants to step back inside, got the handball to Fantella on the left boot. They have an opportunity here, but sitting in the hole, Bowden just takes the mark and will settle things down again for Bannockburn. So he goes short inside, and the mark will be taken there by Peters. This is Nick. Probably the best game I think I've seen him play for the club.
Really good.
So Peters now goes out wide, measures in some space. Hasn't done a lot, but provides that reliability back. So Dan measures now. He's going to go across the ground again, back into space. Bowden's got to play across the ground, and it's Perkins in some space. He goes to that player now. Perkins' next option could be short if he wants to, but doesn't matter because the siren has sounded. And at three-quarter time, it will see Bannockburn go in at 10-13. They lead Bellpost Hill on 5-8. Goal kickers to this stage of the game. 3 each to Fulton and Hetherington. 1 each to Kunchka, Elzinga, Osborne and Alford. And for the Bellpost Hill side, there 5 goals have gone to Flacavento, Jordan, Andrews, and the 2 Costello boys have 1 each. We'll take a short break, come back. Final call to action not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
They like to send up We'll keep
You'll get caught in a minute.
Well,
and they will
there we
know
are,
that
Victoria
they've
Park,
been playing
to the dulcet
against
tones.
the famous Old Dark Blues.
The dulcet tones of Grubby singing his beloved Carlton's theme song.
Are they winning?
I think they're winning pretty easily. So round the grounds, 3/4 time. East Geelong 72, leading Winch 36. The Giants 40. This game has been updated for a while. 49-28. Inverleigh 127, leading Anarchy 29. Thompson 63, leading Werribee 57.
Where have be?
And Ware High B. And Belmont 56, leading North Geelong 53. Grubby, your thoughts on the Lifeline third quarter?
Well, it's funny. The second quarter, Bannockburn absolutely dominated and kicked, 6 or 7 goals?
5, 6 they kicked.
5 goals, well, it's 6 goals in.
That's right.
That quarter they dominated, and I don't know how many they kicked that quarter,
3, 4.
probably about 2 or 3. And yet they had the same dominance. Belpost Hill couldn't get it out of their back line. They came wide, they run out of space. They went down the centre and they kicked it to a Bannockburn player. They went over the other side and kept running out of bounds. They just lost all their avenues to goal. And when they did get it down there, the Bannockburn defence was just terrific. So this idiot's trying to sell me something there. Right?
Is he? Anyway.
Just get rid of him anyway.
You're right now, Grub. You're right. Professionalism's at its highest.
I was actually going to give him a bacon on live radio, but I pushed the wrong button and cut him off. But it would be some bloke trying to sell me insurance or I don't know. But anyway,
solar panels.
Bannockburn that quarter looked like a finals contender. Right, so Johnny Mitchell, sit up and take notice. They're not gone like you said they were. You're going to hate me saying that, but bad luck. He didn't actually say it, but I thought I'd throw it in. They are a contender because they can play really, really good football. We know Belpost Hill are a very, very good side. And I can tell you what, the last 2 quarters they've made to be look a little bit ordinary. But, geez, Ren Lovett's winning the tap-outs. It's no bearing on the game. And one of the reasons, obviously, because Bowie Collins isn't playing. They're missing him real bad, but he could be out for an extended stay with his injury. So they've got to find someone else. As I said before, when they do get it down forward, the Bannockburn defence, so Bowden's taking marks over Will Ford like he was taking over a 10-year-old kid. He was just killing them all. And to me, the second quarter and third quarter were just magnificent. But there is 1 quarter to go. There's 5 goals or still, I don't know, it might be beyond them.
6.
But you would think Belpost will give it their all for this last quarter. But the way Bannockburn have played that, I'm not quite sure that'll be enough.
And Sables went past us before, Grub, with a bandage of ice on his hand.
I saw him in the rooms, yeah. So there's another one in trouble. Yeah. And he was very, very good early.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good early.
All right, throw it to the studio and get the promo for the Morris Finance final quarter.
How about the promo? Play the Carlton theme song against Steeler.
There's final quarter action. So playing who they playing? The B grade.
Zaddle. West Coast are a good side too. They won the flag a few years ago.
They did, 2017. Yeah.
They were 30 points up, I think, 3/4 time. So ball with the umpire. Final quarter action is about to start. But he's thrown up in the middle of the ground. Hammond does the ruck with it again. It's tapped out there. Goes towards Whitney. Can't get the clean ball off the ground. I'll tell you what, young Hose has done nicely in through the middle of the ground today. Ball comes out the back. Goes to Flacavento. They've made a few changes. I see Barton's gone back. So they're not afraid to swing things around. And the umpire says that's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to Nick Peters. So Nick Peters for Bannockburn on the half back line. Will push them over centre, asked to play on. We actually goes sideways now. Running player is Luke Bowden. He looks up, goes quickly towards Spiller, and the kick was okay.
Spiller just, all right.
Yep, Spiller spilled it, and it's gone over the boundary line, and it will be a ball in. Well, sorry, a throw in, which will take place.
Ball in, throw in.
Throw in, ball in.
Either or.
Foot in.
It's coming
foot
in.
Out.
It's coming in.
So it's thrown in by the umpire. Hammond again, but out the back it comes, goes back towards Hose. Yates is in there also. He's the only one that's got his head over the contest at the present time. Henderson's now trying to work through the other way, got through his legs, just needs to get it out.
No.
I'm not too sure that can be paid, but
they're all having a go on the ground.
2 players doing the same thing there, so Yates emerges with the free kick. He's going to obviously drive the ball towards forward. He knows where he wants it to go. He decides to go long and into towards the forward pocket. Ball is spoiled there by Bath. Runs back to a dangerous area. Costello runs onto it. Couldn't pick the ball up cleanly. Again, ball still boggles around there. Measures he couldn't even pick it up. So he's now picked the ball up. Needs to get booed the ball and does so. Goes back into the middle of the ground. In front, Costello. That is Nick. And he takes the mark just on the edge of the cricket pitch there. So Nick Costello now will put Belpost Hill back into attack. Movement. He's got a player out wide, Skronski, and that's where he goes to now. He's seen him, and he actually went by him and found Dill Whitney right on 50. Now, if he runs round, this was well within his capabilities, as long as that hip's okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, he hasn't kicked the ball very well today, Dylan Whitney, and he usually does. So let's hope he's got his kicking boots on for this one for him.
So Whitney now with the first look at goal. We'll need to kick this every bit of 50 to score. Fantella just standing in support because he's going to take on a little bit of extra ground here, although he doesn't. He loads up, he goes long. I think the distance is well and truly there. Accuracy is offline. So Whitney with 3 behinds, and Belpost still now to 5 goals 9. They trail Bannockburn on 10-13. We've gone just on 2 minutes final quarter.
Clifton brings it straight in, plays on long down the line, looking for and find look for Hammond, knocked out of his hands by Costello. Costello chasing the ball, tracking it back to the line, keeps it in play, chipping the ball back in towards the centre, towards Fantella. Fantella takes the mark. He's got Bryans further across the ground. That's where he heads to. Had to be good kick, and it was. Barton now running in support. Takes the ball on the chest, looking to move it forward quickly. Goes long down the line. Contest there. Punch in front. Punch down. Measures. Picks up the ball. There's plenty of time to get through, does it? Handball's over to Spiller. Spiller now goes out wide in the Hammond Lovett direction. Ren Lovett punches the ball to ground. Couldn't get that out. Clifton about to run onto it. Through centre wing, Clifton chips the ball up beautifully to Peters. Peters plays on straight away, looking at his options now. Going long towards Hetherington's, caught behind. McNamara brings the ball to ground. Flaccavento picks it up, tackled immediately. Ball falls free, and the umpire has paid incorrect disposal there. So, well
it actually wasn't that far away from probably being a dangerous tackle.
Oh, that's what I thought he was going to pay.
Yeah, he did fling him to the ground. He didn't hit his head, and it wouldn't have been a report, but it might have been in the realm of dangerous tackle. But he's gone the other way, the umpire, and fair enough too. They've done a reasonable job, the umpires.
They've been good. Josh Kunchka now about to have a shot for goal, which will be for his second in the afternoon. Ball on the boot now. He's pushed it towards the right-hand side there, through for a minor score. Bannockburn's first score for the quarter. They go to 10-14, 74, leading Belpost still 5-9-39. We have gone 4 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Timmy Barton with the kicking in duties now, so his role has changed this afternoon. He decides to go long, and that is a great long kick. Goes out to nearly towards centre wing, coming across. Mark taken there by Andrews. Runners inside was Fantella, but he's gone back himself. Kicks into the half-forward line, out the back. The ball was thought it was going to get there, but Hose did nicely, got back and took the mark.
You know what I can't believe? I can't believe Normie reckons he was a better player than Jai. I can't believe that.
He said he was
quicker.
So now the play did nicely there. Young Hose got around the man and the mark. He goes back towards centre wing. Kunchka's in front. Cad 2 or 3
That's a great mark.
and took the mark.
Fair enough.
If he had to continue with force, he might have been in trouble, but he just let it go.
Fair
so
enough.
Joshy K gets up with a smile on the face. So Kunchka now looks to drive the ball back into their forward line. Target's got to be Fulton. Barton stands in front. Levitt's also there. Hetherington was over the top. Out the back, Costello. He might have a new role too. He kicks round the body, but only as far as Beardsall. He can't take the mark. Got round the player coming at him. Now kicks back inside. Had a good look. And we find Peters plays on quickly. Goes looking for his brother, but going back. Mark is taken out there by Yates. And Yates for Belpost Hill. Doing some defensive work, got back and helped out. Barton comes to the ball, but had support there. Marr slipped in and took the mark. Across the ground he can go, but decides to go short. Love it, into some space. The big fella's worked pretty well all day, the big fella. He goes out wide now, and the mark is taken out there by Whitney. Just ambles through the half-back line. Long kick into the half-forward line. Out in front, Skoronski had the second grab just inside the field of play, and will go back with possession of the ball. Looks back into the middle, and that's also a good kick. Hit Yates on the chest, but he dropped it. Over the top, goes to Whitney. Off a step, looks to the half-forward line. Went looking for Baseley. He's gone forward now, and the ball is tapped to the boundary line by Bowden. We'll have a throw which will take place about 20 around from the behind post. So they have swung things around Belpost still.
They haven't put it on the scoreboard.
No. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, they say, Grub. So the ball thrown back in by the umpire. Yates, the ruckman, takes the ball out of the contest. Gronski goes back towards the centre-half forward position. That's a nicely weighted kick. Just avoided basically. Picked up out there by Osborne. He runs, carries the ball through the middle of the ground. Ball's going to get out the back. Bryans is there. Tries to put boot the ball and did so. Went towards Barton. Handballs over the top. Went looking for. Can't find his teammate there in Flacavento. Elzing is there. Just keeps the ball in front of himself. 1 on 3 there. 1 on 4. He's still working it. Still got the ball. Being tackled by Barton. Tried to get the handball away over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in. So well done, young fella.
He's knocked that 50 metres. He's beaten forward and put that 50 metres further down.
So the ball about 10 metres around from the behind post. Bannockburn's attacking in once again.
I loved him. Will pick it up and snap the goal. It'll be the Corio Bay Health player of the day then, without not even a contender.
So Fulton doing the ruck work, gets the front of the contest again. Ball left behind, kicked off the ground, hand over it there. Barton tries to feed it through. McNamara's also on hands and knees. Lovett picks it up, gives it to Bryans on the right boot, brings the ball back outside 50. Mars there. Also Bath, he did nicely. He takes the Bath, looks inside. Nick Peters is there and will go there and hit him on the chest. So Nick Peters will settle things down. Running player there, Bowden, but he ignored him. He's got him short now if he wants to use him, but he plays on again, goes out wide, looking towards Alford. I actually see Beardsley out there, but he slipped in, and he has taken the mark. Inside 50. Now, I'm not too sure of his kicking ability over this distance, but we'll soon find out.
They had a good look at each other then, didn't they? Who's going to take the mark?
So Beardsley, he'll need to kick this 45. He steps in. Distance won't be a problem. Well, will it? It is out of bounds. Hit the behind post, I think. So we're going to have a throw in, yes, which will take place right beside the behind post.
Off a hand onto the point post.
Correct.
So as we tick over 8 minutes, it is Bannockburn, the home side, 10-14, leading Belpost till 5-9.
So ball back into play now. Peters overruns the ball. Flacavento grabs it, tries to pass through, gets a handball over to Kerrins. Kerrins goes to Clissold. Clissold just forces one down the line towards Will Ford. Ford picks it up. Handballs into Bryans. Bryans has a runners up forward, chips over the top. Skronsky doesn't quite hold on the mark. Out goes to Bowden. Bowden goes to Peters. Peters looking at his options now, just ambling through. Gets the handball across to Bowden. Bowden now goes long. Looking for Hetherington, flies high, but at the back, Bo McNamara takes the mark, gives the ball to Ren Lovett. Lovett goes across to Costello. Costello short to Baseley. Baseley now got runners on the far side in Adam Costello. So Adam Costello steadies it down a bit, give people a chance to catch their breath, and he chips the ball over the top now, looking for and finding, I can see it is Mara, is it? Yes, and he goes into Baseley. Baseley now plays on quickly, chips the ball in, nice kick, and he's got there in the end. No, the umpire says no, it bounced, so half volley. He's ended up getting a free kick for too high by the look of it. So I came to see who it is in the pack. Is that Yatesy up forward now, is it?
Yep.
It is too.
Yep.
So Jack Yates, if you need a captain's goal, this might be it, you reckon? We've gone 9 minutes. Morris Finance. Final quarter score here at Victoria Park.
Well, so I'm not sure it probably matters, but stranger things have happened.
And it has. So we've gone probably it's right on coming on 10 minutes now. So Jack Yates, we're kicking from about 45. Probably need every bit of it, I reckon, too. He's sunk the slipper in. It's gone up very, very high, and has it stayed straight? No, it has missed to the left. So Belpo still get their second point for the final quarter, and Yates gets his first score for the day. So he's Bannockburn 10-14-74, leading Belpo still 5-10-40. The ball board in out here, looking for Spiller, but Skronsky takes the mark. About to send Belpo still back into attack. So Tyler Skronsky now looking at his options. Plays on, throws on the left boot, goes long into the goal square, dangerous spot, ball comes to ground. Costello hacks the ball out of mid-air. Doesn't quite get there, picked up anyway. Running out now, Peters handballs over the top to Clifton. Clifton looks down the line, finds Brad Watts. Watts has plenty of runners inside, uses Peters again from where it all started. Peters now looking for options, finds Clifton through the middle, back to Watts, so just a bit of ball sharing going on here. Throws it on the boot, the free kick down the ground, I think it is, yes. Too high there.
No, I think he's going to bring it back and pay too high, which is fair enough.
It was too high, so Brad Watts, the recipient of the free kick.
It wasn't late, so it has to go back to where the incident occurred.
Just inside their defensive 50, chips it across, finds Clifton. Clifton now looking at his options further down the ground. Goes out looking for Perkins. Perkins ends up with the ball, takes a good mark in the end. I thought I might get the bloke in front first, but Perkins chips the ball in now to Robinson. Robinson went to play on, does so there, left foot. long into the forward line. Costello versus Peters. Peters looking for it, picked up there. Was that by Elzinger again? I tell you what, he's
way.
Oh, he's hit the post.
Hit the post.
What a fantastic effort there by Liam Elzinger. That would have brought Grubby to his feet, I reckon.
Yeah,
he has 1-3 for the day. The second behind again for them. Ball brought straight in. Bryans has it now. Comes out wide looking for Costello. Hose done well to make a contest of it. Running towards the boundary line. I think the boundary line will win this battle, and it'll be thrown in just in front of the Bell Post Steel coach's box. It's a fantastic effort by Hose to make a contest there.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Just probably, because he probably just seen him coming and thought, we've got to do something here.
Well, these kids are young. They can run all day, and they run to the right spots.
So Hammond and Lovett. Lovett wins a tap down again. Fantella goes without it. Lovett picks the ball up, just handballs it as far as he can out of his own zone. Robinson was over the ball, still fighting for it with Costello. Ball not going in here. The umpire says, I'll have it, thanks. So ball up right in front of the commentary box. Dale, this is a perfect spot to call, mate.
Absolutely, thanks, mate.
Appreciate more of it, mate. It's all yours.
Hammond doing the ruck work up against Lovett, and the ball probably in nil all there out the back. Picked up there by Hose, goes in towards Kunska in front. Good strong hands, and he's taken a mark. So Kunska now outside 50. Just needs to get himself back and settle. He's got an option across the ground. Nick Peters is in space. He's got a player further across the ground. It's going to go backwards. Clifton is in good hands. Just need the option now to come at him, and there it is. Goes short and up the ground. Good lead, good mark, good kick. And Kieran Fulton will go back and shoot for his fourth of the afternoon.
Young Hose has been outstanding. Brilliant game.
So Kieran Fulton lining up or having his ninth shot at goal. And will kick from probably just inside 50 when he gets his run up going. Directly in front. Steps in, kicks at goal. Accuracy is there. He has got his fourth for the afternoon. And the 11th goal now for Bannockburn. They are 11-15. It is 5-10 to the Bell Post Hill side. 30 minutes gone, final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
Well, I tell you what, it's just one of those games where, I don't know, I didn't even know what I was going to say then. Because
we're in front.
No, I'm even more rattled. I looked over there and Jules gave me a wink, and that's got me worried. I can tell you that.
Put him on nervous edge.
You're going to tie me to the chair, but...
Oh, wow. All right, Ford's in the ruck now to take on Hammond. Ford wins the ball down, looking for Whitney, but Peters runs through. Hammond wins the ball, handballs over the top. Link Peters, it is, gathers the ball again, bounces off a couple of tacklers, kicks the ball long down the ground. Kunchka in front, couldn't quite take the mark, basically brought it to the ground, but Kunchka was the first to recover. Handballs over to Hose. Hose just takes it and runs, looks to centre the ball. Watts running onto it now. He's got it, wrapped up in a tackle, breaks that one, still going Brad Watts, throws the ball on the right foot. Don't know in particular, but Timmy Barton is in the way and takes a relieving mark 15-20 metres out from his own goal. He's got Ford in the middle, uses him. Ford then handballs the ball over to Clissold. Clissold on the left foot, goes out wide looking for Skronsky. It's too much on it for that, so foot race here. It's 2-on-1. Skronsky does well to knock it forward in front of Bowden. The ball's raced over the boundary line, probably 65, 70 metres round from the Bell Post Hill goal. Very rare attacking foray, Grub.
Yeah, it is. They've been absolutely thrashed, really, from quarter time onwards.
14 and a half minutes gone. Morris Finance final quarter here. Ball about to be thrown in. We've got Will Ford going at it here. Brings the ball to ground. Bounces out. Robinson picks it up. Wrapped up immediately. Gets a handball away. Jones intercepts. Goes without it. I think he's won a free kick there. So the free kick there will go to Zane Jones for Bell Post Hill.
Well, as good a player as he's been in the previous weeks that we saw him, he's been down a bit today, Jonesy.
Been a little quiet, but he'll take the free kick just forward of centre for Bell Post Hill. Gives a handball away to Whitney. Whitney throws it on that trusty left foot. Kicks it no one in particular. Is that Hetherington playing the back line now? Comes out, takes a fantastic grab. Ball goes out wide. Oh, it's going to come back the other way now. Bryans takes an intercepting mark. I think he may have played on then, but got away with it. So anyway, I thought the umpire was taking it back, but Whitney's gone back now. So just playing around. The Bell Post still down their back line. Finally found some space. Barton in the middle. Runs by the cricket pitch. Then bombs it long, looking for Yates. One out in the square. Yates done all right, but I think there's been a free kick paid to him. They were both wrestling, weren't they?
Well, it's too far front.
Oh, fair enough.
See, but But like a kick like that from Barton, it's just a big bang, hope for the best, give your forwards no hope, but luckily they came away with a free kick that time.
So Jack Yates about 10 metres out on about a 45-degree angle. Must have been just outside the goal square. So his second shot at goal in this quarter. Here he comes, Yates in now. Kicks the ball straight through the middle, straight over the umpire's head. So Yates has his first for the day. He has the 6th for Valpo still. They move to 6:10:46, trailing Bannockburn 11:15:81. We've gone 16 and a half minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
I just reckon Bannockburn have thrown so much into this that there was a couple of real easy possessions through the middle that they weren't getting earlier. So I think they might have just about run out of gas, and so they should. They've put in one of the greatest efforts we've seen. They've just run, chased, tackled, and they got a little bit tired running through the middle there on the chase that time.
So the ball back in the middle of the ground. This time Hetherington's in there doing the ruck work. Over the top he goes. Ball comes out towards centre wing. Peters again gets the ball. Handballs out the back into the hands of Beardsall. Beardsall into the half-forward line. Nice kick on the left boot. Finds Alford. Alford now. He also chips the ball going towards his teammate there. But ball runs over the boundary line. And we will have a throw-in which will take place just on the forward 50 arc, I think. Bannockburn's attacking end. A little bit of time now for them just to settle things down. Hetherington doing the ruck work up forward. Forward also doing some ruck work. Ball comes out the back. Picked up there, Whitney. Ball comes out in the tackle. Again, given the wide to Kerins. Kerins got the handball away. Beardsall runs onto it. Tackle without the ball. Kerins gets it back again. Barth packs him down the ground. Flaccavento kicks around the body. Goes back into their half-forward line. Bounce, who will it favour? It's going to go towards Costello. Costello runs onto the ball. Picks the ball up. Needs to get some support. Has it outside in Marr. Looked up. Got around the first one. Second one was there. That's got to be holding the ball. Or incorrect disposal. I would have thought so. Anyway, it's Beardsall again who picks the ball up, and he'll go towards Hammond on centre wing, and Hammond takes the mark. So Hammond now has got the ball.
Well, they've been out there all day, the umpires. They might be getting a little bit tired too.
That's all right. Fair enough. Ball now from Hammond. He goes back towards centre wing, in front, ball gets out the back. Over the back is Costello, standing in some space, goes to Baseley. Baseley looks to get the handball away. Did so, put Costello under a bit of pressure. He's good enough to get the ball away, bounce. One in favour either. Flaccavento picked the ball up, he's tackled. Ball now comes out. Hetherington runs onto it. Also, Clissold did nicely. Got the ball and goes back into their half-forward line. Comes up and it was Costello. Adam Key kicks the ball in. Over the back goes from Yates. Ball at ground level. Picked up. Cleaned out towards Clifton. Clifton got his boot to ball and has found Spiller. Spiller with nothing ahead of him. Looks back inside. Has Nick Peters and he takes the mark. So Nick Peters now with the ball and has just asked to slow the thing down. Goes out wide. Set Clifton a bit of a task because slipping in was Fantella. At ground level, Henderson came across, but Fantella kept his eye on the ball. Looks up, kicked into the half-forward line, went back looking for Yates, but again, Nick Peters is there, and he takes the mark. Short kick goes, well, I thought that was dangerous. I didn't see his player in Bowden in the hole. He takes the mark, and he comes out wide. Beardsall on the run now from the half-back line. From behind, he's got some pressure. Able to get the ball over towards Hammond. He's got a little bit of carry, but he goes back in towards Beardsall. Got a favourable bounce. He looked up, outside towards Hetherington. Didn't take the mark, picked the ball up. Tried to break the tackle, got the handball away. Got the handball away, I thought.
Yes.
Anyway, good tackle. Caleb Baseley will pay that to him. And Baseley now with the ball on the half-back line. So Baseley now, he wants to go across the ground. He hasn't got too many options, so he goes by hand to Costello, asking him to carry the ball and go out wide. Whitney's out on the far side. And he will continue on his left boot, goes round the boundary line. Good kick towards Jones. I reckon that must be just inside the field of play. And Jones with the ball. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I reckon it's just inside grab, but it's not just the other side, our side. So ball now to the half-back line or half-forward line, but in front, Spiller up in front takes the mark. So Bannockburn to settle things down now from the half-back line. 20 minutes gone, final quarter. It is 11:15 Bannockburn, 6:10 to the Bellpost Hill side.
So Costello with the ball now, handballs back to Kerins, misses his target. Kunchka off the ground. Kicks it into the advantage there of Osborne. Osborne's got a bit of time. Looks up. What a beautiful kick
Good
too.
Boy.
Very
Good
smart
boy.
football.
Unselfish football.
Finds Hetherington, who will be kicking from 25 out directly in front, as opposed to where he was with the ball in the pocket, and greatly enhances the chances of kicking out of the goal.
Shut up, Rob Cameron, for a second, will you?
Wow.
Winchelsea 37, East Geelong 90. West 49, that's an old score. Anarchy 35, Inverleigh 164. Thompson 77, Werribee Central 75. North Geelong 55, Belmont 64. Some cliffhangers out there.
Hetherington comes in now. On the balls on the boot. Steers that one home and gets his fourth for the afternoon. and gets Bannockburn's 12. Bannockburn 12-5-81, leading Belpo Still 6-10-46. We've gone 21 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Well, I suppose the understatement of the day says this is over, Smithy. Almost like out in the full over there.
Tigers have come back. They're only 11 points down now.
Are they? Well,
there's only 2
there you
minutes
go.
to go, though, so it won't matter.
Well, I don't think the Belpo Still Panthers will be coming back from this.
No.
A tremendous display of footy from the Bannockburn Tigers.
All right.
I reckon they've all done it for Watsy's 250. There's no doubt about that.
Even Prue turned up. Lovett wins a tap down, goes to Fantella, who tries to get it across. Lovett goes without it. Peter's running onto it. Fantella gets the handball away to Bryans. Bryans goes long to the square. One-on-one battles there. Yates did well to bring it. It wasn't Yates, actually. It was Ma down there at full forward now.
He's going to
picks
kick a
the ball
goal
up
too,
and
Ma.
has a swing, Ma, and has pushed it right across the face of goal. Nope. Dan Ma gets his first score for the day. Minor score to Belpo Still. It ticks them along to 6-11-47, trailing Bannockburn 12-15-87. We have gone 22 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard. The ball
See that? I just love that. He's a terrific coach, Ronnie Pilgrim.
He's a good coach. The ball comes back in here. Lovett is in the way, the big man, but Brad Watts flies in front. Beardsall emerges with it and just dances through the pack. You've got good support there from Measures, gets a handball out. Then Hammond does the same, and Skronsky cuts that one off. Goes in short, but no one home for Belpo Still. So caught behind to get as they've been most of the day. Flaccavento that time.
Flaccavento!
So just winding the clock down a little bit now. So ball comes out wide here. Back to the social room side of the ground. Whitney uses his body and just keeps Osborne out of the way, who looks to have done something to an ankle. Well, it's Alford actually done something to an ankle. But anyway, goes back in and Ma takes the mark on a very, very strong lead. So it's not actually, it's a Flaccavento. They're changing these blokes all around the ground. I'm getting lost. Anyway, Jordan Flaccavento will have a shot for goal. Be kicking from 50. Yeah, Alford's coming off with an ankle for Bannockburn. So
I'd wait.
Yeah,
I'd wait.
Don't lose your score. Flaccavento coming in now. Kicks him right on 50. Distance is the only problem now. Hasn't quite got there. And knocked through for a minor score to Belpo Still. So they go to 6-12-48, trailing Bannockburn 12-15-87. We've now gone 23 and a half minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
So Bowden brings the ball in just over the top of his intended player and Spiller, put a bit of pressure on now, but he went back and collected the ball, handballed it out wide, has a teammate out there, and they bring the ball from the half-back line, go back towards centre wing, and the mark is taken nicely out there by Bashley. Options inside and uses Costello very quickly. Costello had to go back to get him, but he's found him. Inside now to Fantello, off to Bashley, who continues to run. Plays on, goes out wide, went looking for, will find, and that is a good mark out there by Clissold. So Clissold probably just outside range, went to Ford, and Ford will go back now and kick towards goal.
He's been all right, Clissold.
Yes.
He's done a few nice things. He's done pretty well. He's better than a lot of them out there today.
So Will Ford, 3 behinds for the afternoon.
As soon as I say that, they take him off.
So he kicks the ball now. Looks okay off the boot, and he has found his first of the afternoon. So Ford with his first, Belpo Still with their 7th. They are 7-12. Bannockburn on 12-15. We have ticked over 24 minutes, final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
They've really done a number on them, haven't they? They've just been far too good from all day. It started off in spits and spurts with a couple of nice pieces of play, but then they went all defence. Well, the defence come good, and they've just all over the top of them. But Belpo Still is still in their swing, and I guess percentage at the end of the year may make a difference between double chance and maybe not a double chance. So they've got to keep going, and they've got to try and still score, and hopefully the percentage doesn't go too far away from them.
Back in the middle now, Lovett and Hammond. Lovett wins that one as he's done most of the day. Goes to Fantella. Fantella comes out to Skronsky. Skronsky on the left foot. Looking for, what a great kick that was. Looking for and finding that Flaccavento down there. So
yes, it is.
I got it right that time, Grub. Thanks, mate.
Take a good kick from here.
It would take good kick. So Flaccavento just probably does a team thing and send it to the middle. It doesn't matter. The final siren is sounded here at 25-minute mark of the Morris Finance final quarter. So siren gone. Sees Bannockburn 12-15-87 defeat. Belpo Still 7-12-54. Got some goal kickers, Dale.
Yeah, goal kickers for Bannockburn. 4 each to Fulton, then to Hetherington. 1 each to Kunska, Elzinger, Osborne and Alford. And for the Belpo Still side, 2 to Andrews. I think he got them both in the first quarter. 1 to Flaccavento, Yates, the 2 Costellos, 1 each, and Will Ford, won late in the game. So a comfortable win here for Bannockburn. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and go through everything that's happened here this afternoon. Pick out some best players and obviously look forward to another great round of football next week. You listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Still side 7-12-54 in what was a pretty entertaining game of football. Grub, your thoughts for the day?
Well, I love the first quarter. It looked like it was going to be on for young and old all day. Kick for kick, goal for goal. Unfortunately, with Belpo still, it was point for goal for a while. They kicked very crooked. And when you do that, you squander a lead, which they, who knows, may have been able to hold. But the second quarter and the third quarter belonged to Bannockburn. That's the best I've seen them play for many a long day. They were in front. They took advantage of Ren Lovett in the ruck. He won every tap out and they sharked it all. I think that's good coaching. They know they haven't got the ruckman to go with Ren Lovett, so they make sure they get the ball on the ground, and that's what they did. And in the second quarter, they bombarded the goals. And in the third quarter, when it got tough, they wouldn't let Belpo still have the ball. It was like playing Keepins off in the playground. They just wouldn't give them the footy. And when they did get it up the forward line, blokes like Bowden and they just took mark after mark and repelled them. And in the end, by weight of numbers, they just kicked a big enough score to win by 5 or 6 goals. Bannockburn, well, they'll still improve from that, I think. I think they haven't been in top form, but they look like they were getting back to top form today and played a magnificent footy game. Belpo still, well, they've got a couple out, and they've got a couple who've just come back. Oh, Jordan Sable came back and looked at me like he was going to go to the Yards Hotel for the Wagyu steak without any problems. But I think we saw him clutching his arm, and I don't think he came off the ground. We didn't see him again. So he had been out for 15 weeks, and all of a sudden he looks like he could be in trouble again. Bowie Collins, they missed dearly on the deck in the middle because he gets a lot of clearances. But, look, there's no excuses. You go out there with your best 22, and Bannockburn's best 22 were by far the better side out here today.
All right.
Oh, sorry, one other thing.
Yes, mate.
They chaired Watsy off Bannockburn, which was great, and the Bannockburn players were all clapping him and that. I tell you what, you just get beat by 6 goals in a game that you don't want to lose. It could make something about the finals, and every Bell Post Hill player stood there and watched and clapped Matty Watts on the way off. If that's not sportsmanship, then I don't know what is. Well done, Bell Post Hill, in that regard.
That'd be Brad Watts, actually, so we won't worry about that.
Brad, yeah. No, Matty played in the early game.
He's played nearly as many, doesn't matter.
Anyway, other scores have got Winch 92 defeated Winch 51. East Geelong
They
defeated
beat
Winch.
themselves, did
They beat
they?
themselves, mate.
Oh,
Corio and the Giants hasn't been updated. Inverleigh 185.
Mushy, that'd be mushy.
Anarchy 35. That'd be mushy, wouldn't it? Yeah. Thompson 97. Werribee 75. It's 13-19 to 12-3. North Geelong 10-8-68, trailing Belmont 11-11-77. And for those like me who actually care, the Tigers got up and beat Hawthorn by a point.
Oh, my God.
So they've kicked 5 or 6 goals
have a
down.
look at this, Eddie. He thinks he's on tally hiding from the camera.
Andy Barrett, my God. The GDFL, they just cut loose, don't they, at the end of a game? He's like a bobblehead. All right, we've got some votes to do, gentlemen. We'll get the votes, we've got the sponsors, and we've got, lovely to see you, Mr. Barrett. Dale, would you like to go first, mate?
I can go first because Grubby will criticise me as he does most weeks.
And then he'll go and watch it tonight and go, those boys were right, actually, I was wrong.
Well, I've given one vote to Luke Bowden. I thought his game in defence was pretty good. I think he played on Ford. Ford had some opportunities early in the game, yes, but I just thought he held up pretty nicely. I don't usually give me the votes to many back players, but I've given one today. I thought my 2 votes went to young James Hose in the middle. Had some tough opponents in there, did nicely, got possessions himself, and the kids in this side are going to be very, very good for a long period of time if they can all stay in this side. And for me, I haven't seen a lot of him, but Nick Peters for mine was the best player for Bannockburn. Got a lot of possessions in and around the ground, provided a bit of grunt what he has to, and I thought he finished off a pretty nice game. I'm not too sure how many possessions he would have had, but I thought he used
8,
most of them.
Grubby will make up a number and run with it.
Yeah, 8.
All right, Richard, what do you got for us?
I can't believe that.
What do you got for us?
I gave 1 vote to Ren Lovett. I thought he was fantastic. He was probably the only Bell Post Hill player that won his position all day, and he won it by a long, long way. So it snuck in for a vote. By the way, just in front of Bowden. I would have loved to have put Bowden in there, but I just couldn't. I just wanted to put Ren Lovett because of his lone hand for the losing side. I gave 2 votes to Liam Elzinger. I thought he was just fantastic. I know he doesn't get the possessions other blokes do, but he plays in the forward line. And he got it a lot of times and went down there, and just the class that he used, I thought was worth 2 votes. And I don't know about you giving Nick Peters 3 votes, but I'm going to too because I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Although, matter of fact, by halfway through the 3rd quarter, I had him down for me 3 and no one was taking that away from him.
All right, I've got a couple of said. Ren could have slotted in, but they got beaten. I know he won his taps a whole lot, but the effectiveness of it. I also apologise to young Hose. I thought he was fantastic. I gave 1 to Kieran Fulton, 9 shots at goal. I just thought, as you say, full forwards can make a difference. If he kicks 9, he's best on, but he didn't.
If he kicks 9, he gets a vote, but he didn't.
I gave 2 to Jai Robinson. I thought he was fantastic in and under. He probably matched Yatesy for the hardness at the pill. And I gave 3 to Richard Cations because I gave 3 to Nick Peters as well. So he is our player of the day. He's going to, where's he going to, Grub?
He's going to the Yards Hotel. The best food, in the West.
Wow.
The best food in the West. But if you go to the East, you go to the Commoner Fiend. What a lovely place. And in town, you go to the Hotham Hotel. Actually, sorry, that's where he's going.
That's
the
what
Hotham
I
Hotel.
Making stuff up as you go.
Was Yards last year, sorry, but they've still got the best food in the West. But he's going to the Hotham Hotel, and no one can beat the Hotham Hotel.
It's all about stuffing things up. We can stuff players. We don't stuff the sponsors up.
I'm getting tired.
Been a long day.
But while we're here, we'll thank the rest of them too. Fairhaven Homes. I've never seen a house being built better than Fairhaven Homes. Lifeline 131114. I said 131114 because you can't do it on your own. Corio Bay Healthcare, fantastic. The Grandy Cycles. Go and see Martin Carter at Morris Finance. And that's about it for the day.
Except we've got to pick where we're going next week.
No, that's the sponsors on it.
Okay, fair enough then. Okay, the games next week, lads. Inverleigh Winch at Inverleigh.
No.
Bannockburn East.
Possibly.
Here. Belpost Hill North at Belpost Hill.
No.
Belmont Werribee at Belmont.
No.
Anarchy Corio at Anarchy.
Oh, gee.
And the Giants and Thompson at West Oval.
It's going to be Bannockburn, I think. Unless you want to go and see Anarchy and Corio again, it's going to be Bannockburn back out here.
Out here again, I think. Dale?
Don't forget the week after will be Bannockburn and Inverleigh. There'll be 3 weeks in a row.
Well, it might be.
Well, what other games were the week after?
That week,
Werribee might be Belpo still, are they?
Werribee, Belpo still at Werribee. I would have thought would be that game we go to when we grow up.
Oh, that's one I'll be going to. You can come to my joint for brekkie.
We're going to your place for brekkie. So next week we're going to watch the Bannockburn Tigers again taking on a resurgent East Geelong, who seem to get their players back. So it was an absolute cracker. With Bannockburn winning today, it puts them 8 points behind Thompson, 4 points now behind Belpo still. So the battle for third, fourth, fifth is still on. Probably second now. Belpo will open that up with the loss today. Grubby, thank you for your input as usual.
Lovely day. Had a wonderful time.
Oh, I'm glad you did, Dale. Always good to sit alongside at least one professional.
So we're back here next week, is that what
Yeah, we're back here next week.
A professional, we just said it. And
I was miles away. I was thinking about what you said about coming for breakfast. I think I've got to work
the
next Saturday
following
morning.
week, you goose.
Okay.
He's 11 days older than you, mate, so his memory's not as what it used to be.
Yeah, 11 days. He walks like he's 400 days. And I've got to say thank you to Normie Robinson. What a magnificent guest he was. And just, if you listen to it, get it on the podcast and listen again and take a bit of notice of what Normie said. Maybe we can prevent a few of those disasters that are happening on our roads.
Yes, I agree. All right, been a great day here at Victoria Oval. We'll throw back to you, Steelo. This has been the Morris Finance GDFL Match of the Day. Thank you to the Pulse. Thanks, Steelo, for your work. Thanks, Jules and the crew. And have a great afternoon, folks.